YouTube. Oh my god, I thought it had been like 3 days since I updated you guys on in the bungalow. And that was like a week ago, or more than a week ago, so I'm sorry. I wanted to do a live really quick. I just transferred from the other area that I was in, so it was like a moving day. I call them moving days when I have to like move. Um, and usually it doesn't take me that long, but I took a cab for like an hour. Um, so I just checked into my hotel room. And you guys, this hotel room is freaking nice. Like, so I've been sick. Before I show you guys, I want to show you guys the hotel room, but you already know I was sick in the bungalow with food poisoning or whatever it is that I had. Some people actually told me that there was like a stomach bug going around, so it may not have been actual food poisoning. Because like 3 local people told me they got sick too. But then after that, I moved to Phuket, and then I got a call from my dad. I'm not gonna go into too many details, but like, no, my mom was in the hospital, so I ended up getting to talk to my parents for the first time in 10 years, which I'm kind of still processing. But anyways, she's fine. They thought she had a stroke, so it was just an emotional mess, kind of. But she's fine, and everyone's fine, and, they let me know they're gonna go back to not talking to me anymore, so I don't really want to talk about it. That's their decision. I'm grateful that I got to tell her that I love her, and got to tell my dad that I love him, and that I got to hear them say they love me as well. And yeah, I think that's all I really want to say about that. Yeah, but yeah, so that was a whole thing, that happened, and kind of had to unpack all of that emotionally. And then right as that happened, I got a horrible flu. Hello, whoever is here watching, welcome. I don't think you've made a comment. I can't see my comments right now. But welcome. Oh, hello. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I was just saying though, like, my mom got hospitalized, and that was a whole thing. She's fine and everything, but I immediately got sick when that happened. Like, literally, I woke up the next day sick again, with a really bad flu, and I thought it was from sleeping in a really cold hostel room. Because the hostel that I stayed at when I first got to Phuket was like seriously freezing at night, and I asked them for an extra blanket, which they did give me. But I don't know. I don't even know if it was that cold. Maybe it's just because I had a fever or whatever, but I had fevers every night for like three or 4 days. And I still have a pretty bad cough. I love you too. Or a, however you say that. Thanks for being here. Sorry that I didn't like make a video for such a long time, but no, but that flu like knocked me on my butt pretty much, and it hasn't, like, the fever part was not that bad because it was only at night, but it was really like during the day and all night I've just been coughing and my nose has been running. So when I was staying in that hostel, it kind of sucked because they don't have toilet paper in the toilet, in the bathroom on the floor that I was on, so I was having to go all the way downstairs and like get a ton of toilet paper and bring it because my nose was running and I'm coughing. And like, I tried to book another private place. Like, right after I stayed at that place, I got a private room, so I didn't have to cough and all that stuff around other people. But I couldn't do that when I first got sick because I got sick and I had already booked like 3 nights at this place, or 4 nights or something. So I feel better though, I do. But I completely lost my voice too. Like, I've been learning some new songs and stuff and was really hyped on that and like sharing that with you guys, but I completely lost my voice. It's almost back. Like, yesterday I was playing and singing a little bit, and actually I might even do it now. Hello, more people are coming in. Hi, thanks for being here. I want to do a little like concerty type thing for you guys. Maybe not even maybe just even live stream my practice sessions. And I don't even know if I showed you guys on the live, like my guitar. I picked this guitar up for $50 USD. It's a really, I don't know what brand, like, it's like a totally random brand that I had never heard of. Overspeed, I guess is what it's called. But it's been great, and I played at, I've been doing busking again a lot, actually, and the week that I got sick, that's why I was thinking, like, oh, I probably got sick because I overdid it. Like, I was busking, like, all day, every day, not resting my voice, and then I was playing shows every night. Just stop, you don't want to see your guitar. Anything else? Okay, if you don't want to see, then don't watch my live stream. That's pretty easy to do, bro. Why are you in my world, in my universe, if you don't want to see what I'm doing? So, yeah, my little guy right here. I want to make like a cool name for my guitar too, but I haven't thought of one yet. So actually, while I'm in this room, that brings me back to what I was going to say, which is, here, I'll switch this around so you guys can see. In case you're wondering, like, what $25 gets you in Thailand, like, we got our own nice private shower and bathroom. I have like all of this storage right here. They gave me like a little coffee station. I have my own fridge with some waters in there. And then this huge king bed, TV, and balcony. Like, what? I don't want to show you guys too much of the balcony. But like, dude, this place is nice. I mean, $25, can't really go wrong. Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop, never, okay? Never, never, never. Loving every minute of it. So, oh, hello, Shark Zoo. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Did you just tune in, or you been here for a little bit? I feel like I have a million. I'm still in Thailand, yes. I am still here. I'm gonna actually be here probably until the end of April. So, still got a while. Still got like a little over a month. Oh, you just arrived. Okay, yeah. I was saying that I've been sick. I got the flu after I got that stupid like stomach bug thing, and then I had okay, BK, you need to leave. Okay, leave the stream. Just click right off. Don't hit the door. Let the door hit you on the way out. Okay. God bless you. Let's just leave and click off. Okay. Yeah, Shark Zoo. I'm fine though. Everything's good. I got my own room. I just was showing everybody, and I do feel better. I totally lost my voice though. I still have like a pretty bad cough. But I was thinking about maybe playing some guitar. I did want to update you guys. I don't want to be on too long, but I also don't know what time it is everywhere else. Like, I feel like I always pick a terrible time to start live streaming. Mm. But yeah, things have been good. I need to figure out next steps, and I think I have a pretty good plan. It sucks I can't like let you guys in on my plan because people are crazy, and if you let them know where you're going in a public space, like that's just not a good idea. Oh, in the west coast of USA. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. What was I talking about? I don't know. But oh, where I'm gonna go next. So I found a really cool, like secluded area because I really am gonna knuckle down and finish my album. And now that I have this beautiful guitar right here, and I have all my songs really done. I just need a space to record everything. So I found like a pretty great area that's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, and 10:49 there. That's cool. 10:49 p.m. Okay, so that's not too bad. I'll try to probably do my streams earlier, and I know like not everybody enjoys the live streams or whatever. I do miss making videos like the way that I used to. It's just, it takes so much time, and my phone has been, it is an acoustic album, yeah. And you know, I rebuke, I'm just gonna come out and say this right now. I rebuke in Jesus' mighty name people calling names, people saying things, people being nasty. I rebuke you in Jesus' mighty name. You can leave my live stream, okay? You can click off because I rebuke you in Jesus' name. And I don't care what you think of me. So, yes, it's an acoustic album though. There's piano and guitar. I would like to bring in like cello and stuff. It's just I don't have a cello. You know, if I can find some, we'll see like how it will play out. But for now, it's just gonna be me, the guitar, and the piano. And I'm really excited for it. Actually, like I think you guys are really gonna like it. I've played my originals for like a few people here and there at cafes. Like I said, some of the shows that I did, I played and I let the people know like this is the first time like anybody's really hearing the song, and they really liked it a lot. They were like, oh my god, like I feel like I just heard something really special, and they were like, don't stop doing what you're doing. Like it excited me because people were excited about it, and it made me really like happy that other people were impacted by it, you know. Shark Zoo, well thank you. I mean, I don't know, I enjoy it, so you know, I don't care if other people like it particularly, but the fact that they do is even better. Like I don't do it for that, but if I can help other people and like inspire them and they enjoy it, and you know, anything like that, then it makes me happy. Like if I can sing and play and people don't like throw rocks at me, then I'm happy. You know, so it's something that I just love to do. And I mean, I know up until now this channel has been, you know, about my travel and all that stuff, but I really want to make it more about the music. And okay, actually this brings to mind something that I've kind of been thinking, because I guess if I'm going to do lives, like maybe some of you would be interested, especially if you watch a lot or whatever. If you're interested in being a moderator, like I don't mind something like that. I think, let's see. Oh, okay, cool. I can hide people. We're gonna do that. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't mind having a moderator. I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be, because I can go through and individually like remove people that are being obnoxious or just being rude. But I don't really want to do that. that's kind of the last resort that I'll do. But yeah, I don't know. If somebody is interested in moderating, let me know. I have done Twitch streams, Shark Zoo. It's been a long time. Before I ever left Japan, and I had my like recording studio in the sauna of my old condo. um, I was doing Twitch live streams here and there of like performances. But to be honest with you, I just wasn't used to performing in front of people, and it would make me super nervous. Now I'm getting better because I'm actually like doing it consistently. And the busking on the side of the street and all that stuff really helps a lot because you just get used to seeing people while you're playing, and like how most of them don't even care. Yeah, Shark Zoo, I don't mind modding. Yeah. I would make you a mod totally. I mean, well, I had to silence that one person because they're just being flat out rude and insulting, and it's probably like a 9-year-old kid, so God bless them. But I don't want to look down and see stupid, like people being stupid in the comments. And I believe in free speech, so I don't like muting people or anything like that. But if you're just gonna be on here flinging around insults, then yeah, I'm gonna end up muting your ass because this is not your space. You know what I'm saying? You're coming on my channel, dude. This is my space. So like, get your own channel if you want to go. Like Yeah, they did seem it. Yeah, it was probably a 6 or 7-year-old child, but still, like, this is not your house. This is my house. You're in Zuzu land at this time, so. But if you wanted to mod, like, I would be totally down with that. Let me know. Like, I don't really know what it entails. I mean, and like I said, as long as you understand, like, I do believe in free speech, I think it should, like, the kind of people I don't want on here are people who, if you're just making rude comments for no reason and you're not offering anything, and you're just like being hateful for no reason, and I've already asked you to stop, or if you're a mod and the mod asks you to stop, and you're not bringing anything relevant to the conversation, then you'll be muted, And I mean, I think you can just mute people is fine. I don't think YouTube lets you block people anymore. And it's kind of crappy because I've had several instances where people were being kind of perverted or like leaving me like inappropriate comments, I would say. And I would ask them to stop and stuff. Usually I just ignore that kind of stuff, but this was a while ago, so it's like, can you just not, like. But anyways, yeah, it wasn't even on this channel, it was on my other channel, but leaving, comments, that has nothing to do with anything, just being perverted or whatever, and I can't even block those people. Or people tagging me in perverted stuff, I can't even block those people. You can't even actually stop someone from tagging you. Someone was tagging me in these like incel videos or something, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, dude, I'm not interested in whatever this is. And I couldn't actually get them to stop tagging me because YouTube would not let me block them. And it's really frustrating because sometimes you really want to block someone. If you have someone who is coming on your channel, like constantly, like trying to get at you, or like just being inappropriate with, oh, you're so beautiful. That's what I had. I had someone asking me to marry them and all this crazy stuff. And it was like, and my other channel is about like, godly things. So I was like, dude, this is inappropriate. Like, I'm talking about God and like trying to like share wisdom and encouragement, and you're over here like trying to get at me. Like, it's so inappropriate. So I don't know, but yeah, YouTube won't even let you block people who are being inappropriate to you. So that's lame in my opinion, because sometimes you do need to block someone. If someone's gonna be an asshole, like, you do need to block them, or you should at least have the opportunity or the ability to block them. But YouTube will just, the only thing they'll let you do is like mute them, so they can still totally watch you. They can watch all the videos, and actually they can comment all they want as well. It's just you can't see any of, which is fine. Like, I'll do that. I mean, because it's like, okay, fine, watch my videos. Like, to me, I don't even understand, like, why. I don't want to watch someone's videos if they annoy me, or if I don't like that person. Like, I won't watch their videos, period. But you have those people who are just haters, and they love to come on and say a bunch of crap. So I don't know. Sorry, Shark Zoo, I'm ranting. I'm not even reading your put people on timeout. I think you can. Let me look. Yeah, I can put people in timeout. Oh wow, I can also look and see what people's activity has been on my channel. Yeah, people are thirsty on the interwebs. And it's so gross too, because it'll be like 60-something-year-old dudes, and they're like, I don't know. It's like, dude, go somewhere else with that. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. But you can still put people in timeout and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm new to all this stuff though. I don't know how it works. I just, like, I feel like doing a live is nice because I can just chat with you guys. I can actually chat with you. Because, you know, usually I'm just staring at my phone. I'm like recording, and then I'm uploading my thing later, and then you guys comment, and then I respond. But this is kind of nice because, like, we can just talk and have an actual real conversation, with you responding to me and everything. And, you know, I kind of like that. I think it's cool. I have a lot of ideas too for this channel, for like I said, I want to start involving my music more, because that's the main thing that I do. And, you know, being a YouTuber isn't my dream. Like my music becoming known and being able to share my music with people is my dream. So YouTube is a cool hobby that I do as well, but nothing is more of my passion than music, you know. So I want to incorporate that more, and I was thinking it would be really cool if I do a live stream of like some busking that I do. I will live stream, I mean, I can even live stream like my practice sessions, whatever. And to be honest with you, while I'm in this room has incredible acoustics. So I feel like I might actually, there's one song in particular that I really want to record for you guys, and get it out there. And yeah, I might do that this evening. I haven't explored this area that I'm in yet. I just arrived here, but yeah, I just wanted to pop on though, because I noticed, like, sometimes I don't even get like notified of my comments, and some of you were asking me, they were like, are you okay? Because it had been a week since I uploaded, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't realize it had been that long. So, you know, I'm not good at posting like regular stuff, and I'm trying to get better at that, especially if I don't feel good and I got a bunch of stuff going on. You know, like I said, we had a family emergency. My mind was just not on YouTube at all. But yeah, I do try to update at least on Instagram. If you guys don't have my Instagram, it's in like the main description of my channel. It's just like hello_Zuzu_travels. And I put pictures of everywhere I go, and I try to like at least give you guys an update. Like I think I did update on there that I've been sick and all this different stuff. So I will try to get better though, and I appreciate you guys being patient with me. And I hope moving forward, like the other day, I was really kicking myself because I did this set at a vegan restaurant, and it was like incredible acoustics in there. It was so intimate and like a small restaurant, and I think there was like 10 or less customers in there, probably at all times. And I did like a 2 hour set there. And it was so much fun. And I, like, at the end of it, I was like, I should have done a live. But the thing, and I had been thinking about doing a live of it, or at least recording it, but it was making me so much more nervous. I was like, I felt way nervous, like thinking about recording it live, and all of you guys watching it as well for some reason. So I was like, no, I'll just wait. I'll start doing lives when I like feel more comfortable. Um, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm feeling comfortable and confident. Like I've done it enough times, and I think you guys are gonna be really excited when you hear. And maybe I'll just wait and live stream playing some songs. Like I'll just warm up and then do like a live stream playing some songs tonight or something. Um, and then whatever time it is where you are, you could watch it when you wake up. Um, Either tonight or tomorrow. I would love to, if my voice is there. I haven't tried to sing yet today. I did yesterday, and it was better. I was singing. You ever just learn, like there's so many songs that I really love, and I'm like I do not want to learn this song. Like they're just dirty in the lyrics. Like it's the worst. Like I always feel like I hear these songs and I'm like man, this is a jam. But then I go to learn it on guitar or look the lyrics up, and I'm like oh my god, this song is filthy. Like I don't feel comfortable performing those songs in front of other people, call me a prude or whatever. I'm just like, it's a little much. It's a little much for me. Like, I'm not trying to like, turn the audience on, I don't know about that. But there's this song that I was singing that was really pretty, yesterday. So, I don't know. But, yeah, I like this area that I'm in so far. It's been really nice. I've just been touring around, and I just left Phuket. And Phuket's really cool. It's actually, I mean, it's a city, so, but you can get to the beach at least. I went to this area, Kata Beach, which was cool, and I was gonna try to do surfing lessons there, but it turns out there was like no waves whatsoever. Everybody was telling me apparently that it's a terrible time for surfing. They're like, oh, it's the low season right now. They're like, you can't surf right now, which is kind of a bummer because I really, really want to try to learn surfing. But maybe at some point I'll go to Sri Lanka. Because surfing is supposed to be amazing in Sri Lanka, and diving too, apparently. So, Shark Zoo, what's your favorite food to eat there? Man, I found so many good foods. I think my favorite thing, that's really hard. So, Indian food is always a staple for me. Chana masala with like some tandoori roti and vegetable samosas. Yeah, those are my favorite. But Thai food wise, there's one called cow soy, which is like a super spicy soup, and it's got soft noodles and crunchy noodles. And the one I had was incredibly spicy. I was like choking almost. It was so, I was like, oh my god. But also I kind of sucked it down the wrong tube. And they can make it with whatever you want, but I get mine with tofu. It's really good. Actually, I probably need some right now because the spiciness will help clear up, naan and curry. Well, you can't go wrong with naan and curry either. I mean, really. But naan, usually they don't have it vegan. Like they put a lot of butter on there. Even I ordered a plain naan one time, and they just brought it slathered in butter, and I was like, bro. But I'm gonna drink some of my coffee. Mm. Yeah, the cow soy is really good. And then what else? I really like what else? What else? What else? Oh, well, I went to this vegan place day before yesterday and I got faux barbecued chicken, I guess it was. It's like, or maybe it was barbecue pork, but it was a vegan one. Um, and then these like soy curl things, those were really good. And then there was like a sauce that they brought. Uh, but I really like as far as Thai food, that soup is really good. But I'm really into green curry, honestly. Like if I order a Thai food, it's usually green curry. I'm like, dude, I will do a tofu green curry. Like, it's better if I can have like crispy tofu, but sometimes I do it with a soft tofu, which is fine too. Um, and if I do that, I'll get it with like rice or like spring rolls, like the deep fried or the fresh rolls. Man, the food here is so good. And I noticed Thai people are really accommodating. Like anywhere you go, the chef is it's more like there's just some person in the back who's like making everything fresh to order. Or like almost fresh. Like they probably have some stuff that's already prepared, but most of it is like totally freshly thrown together. And they are so good about if you just ask, like even if they don't speak English, you can just put your thing in the translator app and let them know, oh hey, I'm allergic to milk, or whatever. And like they're incredibly accommodating. Even yesterday I went to breakfast. I did a water park day yesterday. Oh my god, that was so much fun. And I wish I left my phone in the locker because I was like, dude, I don't want to be having a fun like water park day on my phone, you know? I just don't like that. I thought about live streaming it. I was like, that would be fun. And next time I probably will. Because I think I would have probably had a lot of fun doing that with you guys, you know? But I just wanted it to be me and me yesterday. But anyways, I went to breakfast and they spoke almost no. I'm trying to learn Thai too. I'm learning a few words. I know like 10 or 15. Um, but they really didn't speak English and I was trying to tell them I'm allergic to milk and I was asking them if they could make me a smoothie maybe because they really didn't have anything I could eat and they ended up making me a banana strawberry smoothie. It was really good. But they brought me my coffee and they brought me a tea as well. And then they brought me like a little cookie. It was like an amazing meal. I was like, okay, this is actually like really good meal. And we like barely could understand each other. And then I tried to tell them it was delicious and I Google translated it on my phone and I listened to the thing and I listened to it like 10 times and I was like, okay, I think I know. I think my tongue can make that sound, you know? And then I went and I said delicious or what I thought was, and they were like, what? They were like, and I was like, and they told me what, and they were like, oh, I think it was alohi or something like that. But on the app, it said like a brohi. I don't, and I was like, I don't know how to say this word, but they were laughing and I was laughing and it was really funny. Hi, stupid head. That's an unfortunate username, or maybe an awesome one. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so Google Translate is kind of on crack because when you do the Thai is also like weird because I guess there's no English words in Thai. Well, sexy is like they still say sexy, um, but there's no English words, so like it's kind of confusing. And then like Duolingo, apps like Duolingo and stuff, they don't even have Thai on there. But anyways, when you look something up on Google Translate in Thai, it gives you it in Thai, but it's in Thai. So unless you can read Thai, like it doesn't give you a phonetic translation. So that's why I just have to listen over and over again. But I did get a Thai learner's like language book, and I'm trying to learn a few sentences and stuff. And I can say Hong Nam Yu Nai, which means where's the bathroom? That's an important one, I think. I try to learn where's the bathroom in any like if I'm gonna be in that country, I need to know where the bathroom is. So, and I used it the other day, and the girl understood me, and I was like, yes. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Um, but yeah, I don't know that much Thai. I'm trying though, I'm trying, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's been fun. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, and I finished, like, if you guys saw on the Instagram, I finished bleaching one of my dreadlocks. I really wanted to bleach it, and then I did it one time, but it only turned like it wasn't there was no bleach. It was like a cream bleach, which doesn't work very. I used to work in a salon, so I kind of know some stuff about hair. So I bought one with an actual powder and developer mixture. I think it was 30 vol, and my hair lifted so nice. It feels really good too. It feels nice and healthy. I can't believe how light it got, and there was no breakage or anything. It really made me want to do the ends. Like, I'm trying to figure out how, not this light. Like, I just want them to be like a blonde ombre. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I mean, I know I can do it on my own. I asked a salon I came across yesterday, and they were like, "Oh no." They took one look at my hair, and they were like, "We can't do it." But I was like, "You guys, it's regular hair. Like, you just have to use more product." But I already know how to do it. I don't want to mess it up, but at the same time, I think if I go with a really, like, not a bleach, maybe I would do a cream bleach actually, probably for this one, or maybe a bleach bath, because I just want to lighten it a little. Like, I don't want, and it actually is lighter. Like, if you look, my ends are blonding naturally from being in the sun. And actually, so way before I ever did dreadlocks, and I was working at the salon at the time, I used to do red. I had this, it was like really red, and it looked really good, but I got tired of it, and I started using like the vitamin C and clarifying shampoo. You can make a mask. I would like blend up vitamin C tablets and mix it with the clarifying. It was like the Redken clarifying shampoo, and you can mix dandruff shampoo and like Dawn as well. Anything that's like will strip your hair, even regular hand soap, because it's those soaps are like hard on color, and red doesn't really want to stay in your hair anyways. It kind of wants to come out. And since I never bleached my hair to get the red in, I think she used like a 15 or 20 vol to get my hair light enough to like take it, but we didn't really bleach much. So, yeah, I used that. I did like 3 or 4 of those, and I would leave it on for a long time. Like, I left it on for like an hour and a half, and it got my hair lighter. Like, it took all the red off, and then it got my ends lighter. But all of this is natural. This is all my natural color, pretty much. Like, maybe there's some red pigments. I don't know. It's all my natural, though. I mean, you can kind of tell. But the bottoms, yeah, the bottoms are probably left over, but they're getting bleached a little from the sun, which I like. Does my dreads require a lot of maintenance? No. They're really, really easy. The only thing I will say, like, I washed it yesterday, and I did, thank you. Yeah, I really like it a lot. Like, I thought if I just do one, it would be really cool, and I think it looks awesome, actually. I really like it. It didn't even turn green or anything. Like, it literally lightened so well. And it didn't get it like deep into the, like, you can tell like inside the dreadlock inside it's still brown, but I don't care. I just wanted it to be like, you know, a different color. I thought about dyeing another one too and then putting a different color on top. Like there's this crazy bright orange color that I found. Um, you can tell how bored I am. Like sometimes maybe you're the same way. If you get really bored, you start playing around with your hair. Like, yeah, I do that sometimes. Um, but and I can't do that much to my hair because it's locked. You know. Have I seen other travelers with dreads? Yeah. I actually have seen more Thai people with dreads though. But yeah, I saw there was actually a couple that I saw with dreadlocks. It was like this girl and this guy, and they had really cool dreadlocks. And then I saw a guy with dreadlocks, um, maybe like a month ago. Um, he had really cool dreadlocks, yeah. But I mean, not that much, but you do see them. Um, Dreadlocks are really good for travel because you just leave it and your hair looks awesome every day. Yesterday, I did a conditioning treatment because, like, when you go in the ocean and stuff, it dries your hair out a lot. And, you know, that's really not good for your hair in general, but it's not good for dreadlocks either. You don't want them to be too dry. And I actually don't use conditioner usually because when you first get dreadlocks, like, or you're doing dreadlocks, if you use conditioner, it makes your hair like slippery and it won't knot as well. So usually I would just use a clarifying shampoo and it makes your hair dry and like tangly. So for the last almost 4 years, I haven't used conditioner ever, like never. But now my hair's super locked. So I was like thinking about it and I was like, I need to start using conditioner because, girl, my ends are dry. Like, why am I doing this to myself? You know, it's already locked. Like, it's not going anywhere. It will not come out unless like, if I could comb it out, it will take me like a month, but I could comb it out. Um, but they're intensely tangled. Like, there's no way it's going anywhere. So I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm going to be using conditioner. So I bought a conditioning treatment, like a deep conditioning treatment, and I washed my hair yesterday after I had my, what do you call it? My water park day. And I left it on my hair for just like maybe 5 to 7 minutes or something. And oh my god, my hair feels amazing now. It was so thirsty. I could tell it was so dry because like I got out of the shower and I was like, man, my hair feels so heavy and like oily and wet. But it wasn't wet. It was like you can tell, and I think it's good actually to wait. Like I waited too long, I think. I could have probably started using conditioner after the first year. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm new to all of this. Um, Shampoo and conditioner every day. Yeah. Well, and so I don't wash my hair every day, and I never have. I don't have the kind of hair that you wash every day. Like, my hair is really dry naturally. Um, it's pretty straight naturally. It's gotten more wave. Definitely, if I didn't have dreadlocks, it would be wavy. But when I was younger, it wasn't wavy at all. It was really straight. But yeah, it's like a little wavy, dry, um, and coarse. I have pretty thick strands. Like the individual strands are really strong and really thick. Um, well, I have some finer strands too. It just depends, but generally, yeah, it's like pretty coarse but soft. It feels really soft. Um, so you know, uh, I do need conditioner, and I used to always condition my hair. But yeah, I would never wash my hair every day before. My sister has like really oily hair, and she washes her hair all the time, or she used to when I had a relationship with her. I guess you would say. I don't know what she does now, but she would wash it every day. But I've actually heard your scalp will produce the amount of oils depending on how much you wash your hair as well. So maybe if you notice your hair is like super oily, try washing it less, because the thing is every time you wash it, you're stimulating your scalp to like produce more oils, and you're like signaling it to produce more oils. So to me, I don't know. Like it seems like washing it less would be better because you need oiliness on your hair. But anyways, I can go forever without washing my hair and it will not oil. Like it, I don't get oiliness at all. Um, I mean, I have to add oil and stuff to my hair because it just does not get greasy or anything. Um, and I wish it would get oily, you know? I like the way hair oils, like natural hair oils, smell. You know, it has that smell, that hair smell. I like that. But also, like, it's just good for your hair to have some oil and your scalp to have some oil. So I use like a dreadlock oil. And I'll put coconut oil. I have to add stuff. Even here, like, it's humid here, but I still have to add stuff to my hair to make it, a little more like softer and more hydrated, you know. But I think I just need to start using conditioner, is what it is. And it actually, like, so when you first get dreadlocks, they're really stiff. And like, say if I put my hair in a style like this, it would stick out a little bit. You know, it wouldn't just drop like that. But I noticed even, like, well, I call it when your dreadlocks drop. It's like when you know they're starting to mature because they drop and they start getting heavier and they fall like real hair or regular hair. I mean, they are regular hair, but you know what I'm saying. Um, but yesterday they dropped even more because of the weight of the, they sucked up all that like nutrition from the and moisture from the treatment. They feel heavier and they feel amazing. And I'm like, man, I should have done a conditioning treatment like a long time ago. But anyways, I don't know. I'm on a hair rant. But I'm really happy with how the lock turned out. It feels nutritious, I guess you would say, or it feels, like nourished and happy. And I might do something to, like I said, if I feel like a milk tea color or something just from here down would be really cute, but I don't want it to be like a straight across thing. So I don't know. We're gonna see how that whole thing works out. I'd be willing to like pay pretty good to get it done, but also I think I can probably just do a better job on my own and like save some money. And people don't want to touch dreadlocks in the salon, dude. They really don't. People are just not trained in dreadlocks, you know. I actually had to do a ton of research for months in advance before I ended up doing mine. Um, and again, you can go pay to get them done somewhere. I did all of mine myself because I didn't want to pay $700. There was a lady from Africa in Alaska who did them, and she's like, yeah, I can make yours, but she's like, it'll be at least $700. And I was like, hell no, I'm not paying $700. And I'm so glad I just made mine. Through it was like the course of like 7 months. I just started from the back of my head, and as I had time, I would do a dreadlock here and there, and then eventually my whole head was covered. Um, and sometimes I would do like 5, sometimes I would do like 10, but I just did them as I had time to do it. Um, but yeah, it'll be 4 years ago that I started my dreads. Next month, actually, April 12th or something like that. I think 13th is when I first started. I started one, maybe this guy. I think it was this guy was my first one. Look how, and it literally shrank. Like my hair was like to my belly button when I did them, and then it shrank to like this length. Am I from Alaska? Yeah. So my I was born in Kentucky, but we moved to Alaska. My parents moved me and my siblings to Alaska when I was 4 years old. So I grew up there my whole life. I mean, I remember living in Kentucky,
I have a lot of memories from living there, but I don't consider it my home. You know, I consider Alaska my home because I grew up, I have all my memories in Alaska, and I even continued living there, you know, up until just eight, what was that, 8 or 9 months ago. So yeah, and Shark Zoo, Alaska's awesome. I love Alaska. Like, as far as the United States go, if I was gonna live somewhere, like it will be Alaska because it's just so beautiful there. But well, actually, I take that back. I decided because I'm a beach girl, like I can't live in Alaska anymore. But if I was gonna live in America, like on the mainland, I think that's where I would go. If you haven't been there though, I would definitely recommend going. It's so cool there. Um, it's beautiful. I mean, it is expensive, but like you can do a cruise or something. You can do cruises to Alaska from Seattle. I think they go to Juneau and Ketchikan and maybe Kodiak and some different places. You're gonna see all the coolest stuff, and those are all inclusive. Like if I had never been to Alaska before, that's probably the way that I would see it. Um, but you don't have to do it that way. I mean, you can just go and, um, you know, choose what you want to see. Even just going to Anchorage, the city that I grew up in, it's really cool there. You're close to a lot of stuff. You can easily drive down the Seward Highway. It's incredibly beautiful. Like you've mountains and the ocean, and like you can see beluga whales swimming off of the inlet. Like it's incredible. Um, no, Shark Zoo. Everyone doesn't live in Anchorage. People live all over Alaska. Anchorage is just the biggest city. So Juneau is actually the capital. That's quite a big city as well. Not as big as Anchorage. Anchorage is the biggest one. But no, like right next to Anchorage, you got Palmer, which like we call it the Valley, because it is kind of in a valley. And it's more spread out than a regular city, so it's more like a town and then a lot of houses along like the valley. Um, but Wasilla is over there as well, which is like a small town. I like the vibes over there. I would drive actually outside of Anchorage. Eagle River's over there too, which I really like Eagle River. It's more of a small town. But they have everything. Like they have grocery stores still, and it's only like 20 minutes outside of Anchorage. So sometimes actually I used to drive to Eagle River just to go shopping at the grocery store, just because it was less crowded than in Anchorage. And it's a cool drive. I mean, it gives you an excuse to drive. Have I seen orcas? Yes, I have seen orcas in the wild, swimming right off of a boat that I was in. They were maybe 5, 10 feet away from me. It was a whole pod of them. So the cool thing is, if you go to Alaska, um, and you do one of the Seward like whale watching tours or whatever, they all have radios and they'll radio one another if they see a pod of orcas, if they see humpbacks, whatever. And then you kind of go chase them. So I did one of those tours. It was like $120, which I feel is quite cheap for seeing live wildlife, you know? Where else can you do that? And we saw orcas, we saw humpback whales, we saw sea otters right there in the bay. The sea otters are adorable too. They all take a little bath in the morning. Like you'll see them. They love hanging out, and they scrub them. They're scrubbing their faces. They scrub themselves, you know, with the water, and they're just chilling in there. They'll rub their little bellies. It's so cute. Um, and yeah, we saw gigantic humpbacks when their flippers coming out of the water, and you know, you see puffins, those birds. Those are pretty famous Alaskan birds. Those are everywhere. They just fly around, skimming the water, and um, do I feel isolated when I was living in Alaska? You can. I mean, not really. There's still people everywhere. Like it's a regular um, city. You live in a regular city. It's not different than any other city. It's just like
there's small cities all over America, and Anchorage, I think the population of Anchorage is like 300,000 people. It's over 300,000 people. Or no, I don't know. I tried to look it up recently and it said it had fallen. So, but it's around 300,000 people. So that's a bigger sized city than a lot of cities in America. So it's a normal city, with every normal like thing that you can think of that you would need. It's not like you live on the moon or something. Um, no, that's okay. I guess I'm naive when it comes to Alaska, says Shark Zoo. Most people don't know anything about Alaska. And I remember, I mean, I was 4 years old at the time, but when my parents first told us that we were going to move to Alaska, I was like, are we going to live in an igloo? I literally thought we were going to be living in an igloo. So, yeah, most people don't know what we have in Alaska, but it's a completely normal area, and we have beautiful summers too. Summer in Alaska is amazing. We have like pretty much perfect temperature, I would say. I mean, when the sun is out and it's like in the 60s or 70s, humidity's low, it's breezy, the greenery is beautiful. You can go hiking. Um, but there is a rainy season too, so a lot of people don't like it because sometimes in the summer it rains all summer, or most of the summer. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. And I really like the rain, so it doesn't bother me at all. I feel like Alaskan rainy summer is the best summer. But a lot of people don't like that because they want to go outside, they want to be hiking, they're trying to do all their outdoor stuff. And summer in Alaska is also really short, it only lasts for like 3 months. And then if you factor in the rainy season with that, sometimes we only have like 30 days of sunshininess or whatever. Um, I think there was a record couple years back. We only had, it was like less than 30 days or something of sunny. No, I don't know. I love the summer though, but yeah, it just doesn't last long enough. And then we don't have a proper fall either because it kind of just turns cold. Like automatically, it's like, and it's cold now. Um, it is beautiful though. Like when the trees start to turn, it just doesn't last long enough. It's like 2 weeks of fall-y colors on the trees, and then it's like snowing. So, or all the leaves are just gone and it looks ugly, and then it's cold until it snows, and then it's even colder. Um, but yeah, I mean, they have. I think worse winters can happen in like Minnesota. Minnesota has horrible winters, and it's very similar to Alaska, long and cold. I think they can get colder than Anchorage does. So lots of states, have pretty similar than we do. But yeah, I love Alaska. I mean, Alaska will always have a super special place in my heart. I have all my memories there pretty much. It's just like anything else. I think when you have all your memories in one place, sometimes you don't really want to be in that place because it's kind of painful, and you're like, I don't really want to be thinking about all this, like, memories of my childhood or whatever. So even though you love a place, like, doesn't mean you really particularly want to stay in that place because it's just like too familiar. So maybe that's how Alaska kind of became for me after a while, where I was like, I think it just is kind of painful for me to be here. And not as if I'm running away, but I think sometimes we're pushed to move outside of the place that we're born and raised in, or at least raised in. Like, I think all the best things happen when we leave our hometown. Because, like, usually people aren't appreciated in their hometown either. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get out of your hometown, dude. That's just part of it. Like, you can't stay stuck in your hometown. You can't. I don't know. If you ask me, that's my opinion. But, yeah, Shark Zoo. I hear Minnesota's really cold. Yeah, it's definitely I've talked to several people from Minnesota, and like we compare like Alaska to Minnesota, and I'm like, and they're like, yeah, we have dark. It's dark like 9 months out of the year, winter 9 months out of the year, and I'm like, oh, well that's then you'd be fine in Alaska because like it can be depressing too. Like I feel the winters there are way too long, too dark. It does get to you. Like it starts to weigh on you. You're like, dude, I would like some sunshine. I would like to go to the beach. Like I need some freaking vitamin D in my life, you know. And you have people who, and I don't blame them. I haven't done it, but like people buy these happy lights and it's just a fake light that like gives you vitamin D and you sit in front of it like you're like a lizard or something. um, I don't think it's a bad idea though, and supposedly they work pretty well. Because yeah, people get seasonal depression from the lack of vitamin D during the winter months. Oh, you're in Portland, Oregon. Snows once a year. Wow. I've been to Portland a lot of times, several times. It's a cool city. I actually got my vegan tattoo there, um, my Earthling tattoo. Shout out to that documentary. If you guys haven't seen that documentary, Earthlings, I watched that one time and then never ate meat again. So if you're interested in veganism, like I would recommend that documentary. Um, Not easy to watch, but I would recommend it. But I got that tattoo at the Portland. What's it? It's called Hungry Tiger or something. I think it's a totally vegan tattoo studio though. Um, you don't know about those lamps? Yeah, I don't know if that's just an Alaska thing. It's like a weird. It almost looks like a lizard. It makes me think of a lizard thing. Like I don't know. I used to have an iguana, so that's all I can think of is like, oh, well, he needs his little light, you know, to get the sun. And like humans are kind of the same way though. Like we need, even when I go to the beach, like I always, I'm like, okay, I'm giving myself a dose of vitamin D, like front and back, and then um, there are a lot of tattoo shops in Portland. Yeah, yeah, and but that I got that, gosh, like 8 years ago or something. Um, yeah, and vegan restaurants. There are a lot of vegan restaurants. And I went to this donut place. Oh my god! I don't know if it was in Portland. It might have been in Seattle. It was incredible though. I'm obsessed with apple fritters, and if there's one thing I miss, like baked goods wise, it's a freaking apple fritter. And of course, you just can't find them vegan. But that place in Seattle or wherever it was had a bomb vegan apple fritter, and it was just it was unforgettable. Unforgettable. Um, Metamorphosis says, "Am I lonely?" No, I would not say that I'm really lonely. I really enjoy being alone. I just there's not drama. There's no drama. Uh, I don't have to ask anybody else what they would like to do that day. Um, I don't have to wait on anyone. It's kind of amazing. Like I just chill. I like myself, so I mean, I know a lot of people don't like being alone, but I actually really enjoy myself, so I like being alone. Um, I like having people too. Like I definitely like socializing, but I am fine either way. And I found if I do feel lonely, like I can always just go to like a cafe or go like walk around and I can just talk to people and make friends really easily. Like I can go out and busk and play my guitar and like I just strike up conversations and friendships with people if I need to. Do I enjoy it or is it a coping mechanism? I enjoy it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a coping mechanism. Like, I think at this point in my life, I'm doing what I have to do and what I need to do, and I need to be alone to do that. Other people are distracting from the thing that I'm trying to do. And it's not just that, it's
I'm at a place in my life that has naturally led to my circumstances, and I think it's good for me right now. It's good for what I need to do. It's good for healing me. Um, I think I have had a lot of coping mechanisms in the past that were super unhealthy. You know, in my 20s, I had eating disorders. I had self harm. You know, I was cutting myself all the time. Those are coping mechanisms that are super unhealthy. So, you know, I think if you're gonna be alone to heal yourself and have a relationship with yourself, get to know yourself, and, you know, just have a break. And because for a lot of people, you know, maybe this isn't you, but for me personally, like I enjoy taking care of people that I love. But that's not always good for me because I can end up giving too much and it ends up being very detrimental to me. And this is the first time in my life, not even of my own, I will say, choices, maybe. I mean, it has been, but it hasn't been at the same time. This is just how it is. And I'm very grateful though, because I have an opportunity that a lot of other people don't have to put that love and care that I normally would be putting into like a husband or children or a family or whatever. I can put that love and care into myself. And it just so happens that I really need that love and care. Like I really, really, really need it. And it's it's gonna make me emotional. Like I've been ignoring that for this whole time, you know, my whole life. Like not that I want to ignore the things that I need. It's just, you know, it's easier to be like, I love this person outside of me. I'm going to give them everything. But then you end up depleted because the thing is, like, we need to be giving to ourselves first. If we don't give to ourselves, we really have nothing left over to give other people anyways, because we're giving and giving to other people, but we're so drained, we just end up making ourselves sick, and we feel horrible, and we feel used, and like we just end up like pouring from an empty cup, you know, and that doesn't feel good. So I think in order to get closer to God and heal yourself, you have to be alone and you have to be comfortable being alone. And I had known this for a really long time, that I needed to be alone to really like heal and work on the things that I need to work on, to finish my album, to meet the goals that I want to meet. Like I had this already innate knowledge that like I really need to be alone to be able to do that stuff. But I had this huge fear of being alone because, you know, being alone is very scary. And I already knew also that the one person who had hurt me more than anyone else in my entire life, 100%, was my own ass. You know, I hurt myself physically, mentally, emotionally, all that stuff way more than anybody else ever hurt me in my life. So being able to sit with yourself, like talk to yourself, have those tough conversations, journal, like most people don't take the time to do that because it's like it takes time and you have to actually sit with yourself and like look yourself in the face and be like, yeah, remember when I did that to you? Like, body. You know, I talk to my own body all the time. I do, because it exists on a plane, like, sort of separate from you, if you think about it. Like, yes, your body is you, but it's also not you, because, like, you're not telling your body to breathe. You're not telling your body to heal a wound. You're not telling your body to pump your blood through your veins. Like, you don't tell your body to do any of that stuff. It just does it. It's there for you. You know, it's been there for you this whole time, loving you and like working hard for you. Even and it never rests either. Like you get to go to sleep, which also like how does that whole thing work? Like it has nothing to do with you, but yet it is you. Like it's very strange. So
like, yeah, I talk to my body all the time, and I think that's a really healthy practice to start doing, and I'm glad that I started doing that. But anyways, yeah, asking my body to forgive me, and really like treating myself almost like I'm like my body is my pet, you know, and enjoying myself, because I realized too, like, you know, not to get too spiritual, but it's like God enjoys us, you know, or whatever you believe, like whatever higher power you believe, you know, or maybe you don't believe in God. That's fine too. But for me, like, I know that God made me and he enjoys me. And he enjoys me for no reason other than that I'm me. Just like when I see a dog, I'm like, oh, and or a cat, and I'm like, oh, so cute, and like they're not doing anything, they're just being a dog, and you're like, I love you because I love dogs, you know, or and I love you because I love cats. I see a dolphin, like my heart's gonna melt because I love dolphins, you know, and they don't have to do anything in particular for me to love them, like you just see it and it's adorable and you love that thing because it's cute and it's being its animal self. And I think humans forget God loves us because he sees us the same way. He's like, that's a human being. They're my human that I made is being a human, you know? And I love that. I love that. Like, and it's like, yeah, why don't we think about that? Like, why don't we think about like loving our body and just being like, oh, you're so human, you know? Like, I don't know. I think about this stuff. Like, I really do. Sorry, I'm not even like reading you guys' comments. I'm just ranting about loving myself for being a human being. But I think this stuff is like easy to not think about, but we should think about this stuff, you know? Let's see. Have I felt homesick yet? Well, I won't say I felt homesick, but like sometimes I have needed to have like a routine, like a solid routine. I think that's really important when you're traveling around, because you don't really have a routine. And for me, having a routine is pretty important. So I've been trying. I finally like I have like a morning and a night routine. And I'm like, okay, I know like everything's up in the air and I'm moving around, but like I need to do these things. Body, you know, because my body's like, hello, I need things. I need attention from you, and like I am the one to take care of that stuff. So, like, yeah, I finally have a morning night routine that I'm like getting into, skincare and brushing my teeth and all that stuff. Um, so I think I was missing having a routine. The way that I kind of did back when I was living in Tokyo. Um, and let's see. Not homesick. I mean, because for me, like it's just me. Like, where would I be homesick for? There's things that I miss, like from when I lived in Alaska. For sure, there's things that I miss. Um, but and then hearing my mom was sick, like immediately all I could think of was like, oh my god, I'm so far away from home, and like, what if something happens? Like, I was freaking out. I mean, imagine hearing your parent, I thought she had a stroke. It turns out, thank God, she didn't have a stroke. But, and it was an emotional thing because that's all I could think is like, oh my God, I'm so far away from home. Like, what if something happens and like I'm not there? My immediate thought was like, I need to be home. But, everything's fine, so I'm staying out here. But yeah, that was a big thing mentally for like a week there. I was like, should I go back to America? Like, what? Even though I don't even have a relationship with my parents, like, it's not like I can show up there and be like, hi, I'm here to visit. They're not going to be down with that. But I don't know what it is in your mind. You're just like, I need to be there. It's my mom, dude. I mean, I love my mom. Like, it worried me. Um, so I'm way behind on comments. I'm sorry, guys. Metamorphosis, thank you. I think you're very mature. Been on the same path. Consciousness and body is separate. Yes,
I used to think I am God trapped in this body. Well, I used to think something similar, but the thing is, like, we're not God. I used to think that too. You know, I was like very into new age stuff, and but the thing is, like, and that's a big part of it. Like, we're obviously not. I mean, because like I said, you're not the one pumping your blood. You're not the one breathing with your lungs. I mean, you are, but you're not at the same time. Who is doing that stuff? I think that stuff in us is God. It's God's active force. Who makes the ocean wave? You know? Who makes the sun go up and down? It's not me. It's not me that does any of that stuff. Could God be connected to us in a way that we're part of God? Yes. That's what it is, I think. But the thing is, as humans, we need to be careful because we instinctively need to worship something. It's built into us. And so if you're not worshiping God, the problem is you start worshiping something else. And it's usually not good. Like, we start worshiping food, we start worshiping sex, we start worshiping ourselves, we start worshiping our husband or our wife. You know, this is a huge thing that I've discovered in my life. Like, we need an idol so badly. Look, all throughout history, people need to worship so badly that we've carved idols out of stone just so we can worship something, you know, outside of ourselves or whatever. Let's see. I think the same stuff. Hey, Son. Thanks for coming. Metamorphosis says, do you think God chose humans as his vessel to feel the world he created? And that's exactly what separates us from animals. I think we are God's ultimate creation. Like, but I think we embody all of the other creations, if that makes sense. Like we embody traits from all the animals and traits from every living thing. And that's what makes us the ultimate. Because if you look around, like, we are animals 100%. Just like I said, this body is an animal. If I remove my, like, higher consciousness from my body, I turn into an animal. Like, if you've ever been around someone who's so drunk that they're just, and I've been this blacked out, it's horrifying, but, like, I only have seen it one time in someone else where they're so blacked out, there is just nobody home. And you can tell it's the subconscious mind running the show. And yeah, they act pretty much like an animal would act. I mean, you know, maybe a nice animal, maybe a mean animal, like, it just depends on what's going on behind the surface. But yeah, human beings are like every single animal combined. And when you watch animals, you can tell, like, they're so incredibly smart. They're so incredibly, like, we're not special in that we have intelligence. We're just able to organize it in a better way than animals can because, you know, I mean, we're outfitted with the perfect things. We got, like, hands and opposable thumbs. We can talk. Like, I think animals talk too. I think they talk to each other all the time. It's just we can't understand the language that they use, you know? I hear birds singing, and, like, to me, I'm like, listen to them singing their song. They're singing praises to God. They're talking to each other. Maybe they're giving a sermon, you know, maybe they're giving a lecture. Like, you know, we think we're so much smarter than animals, but I don't think we really are. Yes, we are animals, but only ones with consciousness, and the consciousness is the ability to feel God or oneself. I think animals 100% worship God. They do. You can actually look up videos of animals worshiping God. Dude, animals know that there's a God, 100%. They know about God, and they worship him, believe me. And they're conscious. Animals are fully conscious. Now, do they have the same conscious awareness that we have? Like, we're definitely a higher conscious being because we have self-awareness that they don't have. You know, we know what we look like. We know we're going to die. We know there's a future. We think about the past. Animals, like, they do think about the past and they have memory. They don't have a concept of the future, though, really, the same way that we do. I think they have a concept of it, but I don't think it's the same as
the ones, or what we have. Um, Animals just exist. They don't do anything. I don't agree with that. Um, I think animals 100% think, because you can't have consciousness without thought. I was thinking about this the other day. Animals are not robots, and they do think. If you watch ants, they think. Like, not the way we do. It's not the same. Remember, they're different than we are, but they are thinking, because again, you can't have consciousness without thought. They are clearly conscious. When you look at something in the eyes, it's obviously alive. Like, and there's thought behind there. Just because it's a different process than what you or I have doesn't mean that it's any less of thought. Now, is there a different intelligence level also? Yes, but the interesting thing is that intelligence isn't a marker of worthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because like a snail is less intelligent than a dog, it doesn't mean that it is less worthy. You know? It still has every right to be here, and it still exists in this world. Like, it deserves to be here. If you have made it to existence, you deserve to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. So, you know, when I see an animal, I talk to that animal, I engage with the animal. Like, I always have done that. And that, like, animals do understand as well. Like, even if they don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, like, they understand the energy. You know, they understand like your heart posture. I really believe animals can. And dude, remember, animals sense things that we have no idea about. Like, they're way smarter on the spiritual realm. They're way smarter on like vibes and energy, because they don't have all this logic that we use to brainwash ourselves. You know, if you hear a noise outside of your apartment at 3 a.m., you know, it sounds like somebody's breaking into your house or something. You might logic that. You might be like, oh my God, someone's breaking in. But maybe your mind will be like, yeah, but they're probably not. Like, I'm probably fine, you know? And maybe you can logic your way into like an animal, though. They hear a noise, bro. And believe me, they hear that noise like way better than you do. And they have senses, again, that you and I don't have. So a horse in the stable hears something a mile away or whatever. He's like, what the hell was that? That was different, you know? And they hear things that you and I can't hear, frequencies that we can't hear, and everything. So to say that animals just exist, you know, like pieces of meat or something, I don't agree with that at all. At all. And like, if you've ever known an animal or had a relationship, you know, a friendship with an animal, I grew up having so many animals, and they all have huge personalities. We are superior to animals, but that doesn't allow us to exploit them. If anything, we should care for them. Yeah, I agree that we are definitely, humans are more important than animals. That's undeniable. You know, we can create things that animals can't create. We can solve problems for animals. Let me make sure my battery isn't gonna die. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. Like, and this is why I don't like calling myself a vegan too, is because there's people who just, they think animals are way more important than people, and like, I don't agree with that at all. I think humans are definitely the crown in God's creation, undeniably. Now, like, are we sometimes way stupider and worse than animals? Yes. 100%. Because animals can't wreak the havoc that humans can wreak either. But I would still say that humans are definitely more important than animals. I mean, again, we can just achieve. Look at the great things humans have achieved. I mean, we've achieved some crappy things too, for sure. But, you know, human potential is just limitless, honestly. We are limited only by our own belief systems. And that, like, by design, we are limited only by our belief systems, and that's incredible. You know, we can make things happen that are just unfathomable, you know? So that is something I totally agree with. But yeah, we need to take care of animals and respect them. And just because you like are the crown in that creation or whatever doesn't mean that God doesn't love animals or that animals aren't important and they don't deserve respect. Again, intelligence is not a marker of worthiness, and that's like saying a person with Down syndrome is less valuable than I am just because they have a different experience of life. You know, like, and there's people that think that way too. Like, I don't think that way at all. I think a person with Down syndrome is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than me. You know, because they can do things that I can't do. And experience life in a quite beautiful way that I wouldn't be capable of, you know. So yeah, like I don't know. I love animals though. There's a purity and an innocence about animals that like really just like makes my heart happy, you know, and I think it shows the heart of God as well because they're very childlike, you know, and being around animals reminds me of when I was a kid, like the innocence that I would feel, and you know, there's something really special about animals, dude. They just, you know, they just do their thing, and they don't even know what they're doing. Like, I mean, they don't even know, like, I look at an adorable animal, you know, say like the cutest animal you can think of. For me, the cutest animal I can think of is a red panda. They're so cute. The tail, and have you ever seen a red panda? They're adorable. Well, anyways, I think about a red panda just doing its thing, hanging out. Dude, that little red panda is the cutest thing in the world, and he has no idea how cute he is. He has no idea. He eats his little bamboo or whatever they do, and like, no idea how adorable he looks doing that. Like, you know, he washes his little face, maybe, like, takes a little bath. He has no idea how freaking cute he looks. Like, no idea whatsoever. So, yeah, animals can be ruthless, I know, but it's an animal. And humans can be way, way, way worse and do the most ruthless and horrible thing. See, the one thing about animals is they don't have, like, malicious intent when they are like killing each other or whatever. Even if they're hurting another animal to play with it, they don't have malicious intent. They're just like, this feels good, this tastes good, you know. Or it's just their instinct and they're not even thinking. They're just like I don't know why I'm doing this, I'm just doing this, you know. So it looks ruthless from the outside, but like it's just nature. But humans, when we do that shit, we know that it's wrong, and like we're doing it anyway because strictly we're like I don't care about this other person, or worse, they want the other person to be suffering and be hurting. You know, animals aren't like that, and animals are also not manipulative, and they're not liars. You know, an animal can never lie to you. Like, dude, humans are very crafty. So I think humans are the most ruthless. Like, animals are just doing their thing, dude. We know better, and like when we do that, we're actually being. Yeah, I no. Animals are good. They're good. They're not evil, and an animal is not really capable of evil because they don't understand good and evil. They're just doing. They're just being an animal. You know. They just well, I mean, you can say they just exist, but it's for the good. Like, and yeah, like, I think humans also just exist. Like, you know, we exist. And, like, I don't know if we're all that different from animals, you know, but we should be the best that we can be. And, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's a rant. But we aren't if we don't think. We aren't what? We aren't humans? Well, I mean, yeah. Because again, we are animals. Like,
And if you look at people who lose part of their brain to like brain damage or maybe like a brain tumor or something, like, dude, you can totally turn into an animal. Like, a human could be an animal 100% if we lose our higher functioning. That's what I'm saying. That higher functioning is something different. The animal part of us, the subconscious part, is a part that's not, I mean, it is you, but it's also not you. It's like strictly some kind of program that just runs, you know? It's like automated. It's very weird. I think about this stuff a lot. Like we have an automate, not a robotic thing. It's just, it is what it is. Like all of those little guys who live inside of you, the little cells that are taking care of you, that make up all of your nervous system and all of that stuff. Dude, they have a whole life in there. They're conscious as well. Your cells are conscious. So what is that? Like, you're a whole ecosystem that has nothing to do with you wanting or willing that into place. You know? It's there working for you. Like, that's God. That is God. Dude, who's telling those cells to take care of you? And why? Like, why do they even care? It's interesting, you know? Yeah, genetic memory. Well, yeah, I believe this 100% genetic memory plus like the intelligence and wisdom of God, you know? It's very fascinating and mysterious, dude. Like, I don't think we will actually ever understand God. Like, I try every day. Every day I like ask God questions. I'm like talking to him, I'm like wondering about him and like, you know, I think we won't actually ever really know, which is kind of cool too. It's kind of amazing and part of the mystery of just being like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever really know what God fully is, you know? And like I've said on this channel before, like I'm a follower of Jesus. Like I love Jesus. Jesus appeared to me in my living room, dude. Like, I had a whole incredible life changing experience. But to say that I understand what God is fully, like, no, dude, I have no idea. I don't know. It, yeah, if we could break the simulation. Well, the thing is, like, I like the simulation theory is really interesting to me as well because and I believe in God, of course, but like I also think this whole thing could be a total spiritual simulation like that we're living in, you know? And because it's kind of been a proven thing that if you zoom in on reality at the highest point of zoom that they can possibly do, it's pixelated. Like reality itself is pixelated, which is super weird. So what is that? I mean, why would reality be pixelated if it was real? And even if you think about like your memories and all, like your whole life that you remember, right? Like, how do you even know any of that stuff was real? Like, I remember my dreams, but like it wasn't real. You know, everything in my dream was me. I think about this a lot too. Like everything in the dream, everyone that I met was my own ass. Like it was me. Like I was having conversations or even arguments or whatever with people and going places and like doing things, and then when you wake up you're like, dude, all of that shit that I just saw was me. Like, it's a little weird. Um yes, I saw Jesus. Like, I had an incredible experience. I was having a panic attack on my couch at home, shaking. This was 4 years ago. And like literally I wasn't a Christian or anything like that. I had been looking into everything, but Jesus was one of the things I had been looking into because I was just trying to find God in general. And I called out to Jesus and I was like, okay, like if you're real, like I need to see you. You know, not only do I need to see you, like I just need to know that you care about me because I had been looking for God for 3 years straight with everything I had to an obsessive level. Like, I literally, it's all I thought about all day. was just God. I mean, really, even now, all I think about is like God and aliens and conspiracies and stuff. But like, no, I was like really obsessed with finding God. And like, I called on Jesus and he appeared in the living room. He looked at me like he knew me better than anyone else had ever known me. He looked at me like a long lost friend. And I just remember looking at him and being like, "Oh my god, like yes, I know you." Like I knew him 100%. I was like, "Yeah, like it's Jesus." Like I knew him and he knew me and he loved me, you know? And I just felt this love and he walked over to me and held out his hand and I took his hand and I was still shaking at this point. Like I would have these weird panic attacks at that time and had for a long time where I would just shake and I couldn't stop myself from shaking and I just kind of have to like try to calm down until it stopped, you know? And I mean, I guess that's like a panic attack. I don't know, but whatever it was. And I would feel really afraid while it was happening too. But anyways, yeah, it was crazy. The second that I took his hand, I stopped shaking completely. Immediately, like this calm came over me. This like supernatural calm. And then the craziest part, there was a freaking earthquake. Immediate, like once I stopped shaking, like I take his hand, I stopped shaking immediately. Boom, earthquake. And it was like a 4 point something. It registered on my. I have an app on my phone for earthquakes because we kind of get a lot of earthquakes in Alaska, and you have to like not like monitor it, but you kind of want to monitor it just in case, because it can get kind of nasty. And yeah, I got a notification even on my phone of the earthquake. Um, let's see. Yeah, the quantum mechanics doesn't make any sense. What did he look like though? Well, he looked like a Middle Eastern dude. Like, I mean, he was very tan. He had like a larger Middle Eastern type nose, brown eyes, dark hair. He looked like a glorious Middle Eastern man. You know? No, he wasn't a white guy. Like, of course, duh, Jesus isn't a white guy. Like, okay, but yeah, he was very tan and just looked like a Middle Eastern Jesus man that you would. And yes, he had a beard. Like, so that was my experience, and like from then on, I don't know, I was just like, okay, like I love Jesus and like wanted to get to know him more, and like I talk to Jesus all the time, and I feel like he's my best friend in the whole world. Like I love Jesus. And I will say, I mean, really, like my life didn't really get easier after finding Jesus, I would say, because the thing is, like, you have to look at your life and be like, you know, and I tried to live my life as a good person. Um, but you know, there's things I realize like this probably doesn't really fly. I don't think God wants us to be perfect either, though. Like, um, but I think we should try our best. You know, I think we should try our best um, to do right by Him. So that's what I try to do. Um, oh my God, I saw Satan in the mirror once. It flashed. I was looking at myself. So you actually saw Satan, or you're making a joke? I mean, that's pretty creepy if that happened to you. I would call, well, that's the other reason. So the main reason why I became interested in Jesus was I would always have these demonic nightmares my entire life. Bad nightmares. Like violent, disgusting, disturbing nightmares, and I couldn't sleep even. I had insomnia until I was like 27, and it started from birth. Like I just had these horrible nightmares and sleep paralysis and all these different things. And if, my best friend told me when I first met him, he was like, because he would see it, like he would see me have like night terrors and stuff and wake up crying and all this horrible stuff, and like He was like, have you ever tried calling out on the name of Jesus, like when this stuff happens to you? Because he was raised a Christian. And I was like, no, I've never tried that. Like, why would I try that? Kind of weird. But he was like, well, you should try, and maybe like just see what happens. Um, and I was like, okay, like, rolling my eyes or whatever. But like, as these nightmares kept happening, as they always had, um, during one of them, I remembered his advice and I called out on the name of Jesus, and it literally immediately stopped the experience. Like, I usually would have sleep paralysis where, like, an entity would be in my room, it would be coming towards me. I thought I was awake. In sleep paralysis, you think and feel like you're awake, but you're actually not, you're asleep. But I would be asleep and struggling to get away from this thing. It was terrifying because I thought I was awake. And then I would think I woke up and I'd be in my bed, and I'd be like, oh my God, thank God that experience is over. It was just a dream. And then, sure enough, this thing comes, maybe it's a man in a mask or whatever it is, starts coming, and I can't move and I can't say anything. And I'd be like, oh my God. And then I would wake up again. Sometimes this would happen like 20 times where I would be unable to wake up and then think that I did wake up, only to find out I'm still trapped in a room with a masked man or a man in a hat or a form or a demon figure. And imagine this happening to you where you're in a dream within a dream within a dream, 20 dreams deep. I mean, I would wake up and I'd be exhausted. I was exhausted. I would be shaking. I'd be crying. I'd be super upset. It would ruin my whole day. And this happened constantly to me. Like, I'd be so exhausted. And then also, when you finally do wake up, you're like, is my ass actually awake right now? And you're like, you're like freaking out because you're like, I have no idea if I'm actually awake or if I'm in a messed up dream reality right now. So it got so bad, I had to get on medication for PTSD. My doctor put me on because he was like, well, there's this medication, like, we put soldiers, like veterans, on this medication for when they have their PTSD nightmares. So he's like, we'll try this PTSD medication for your nightmares. Well, it did work. It worked. I just didn't dream at all. But yeah, that was happening to me for years and years and years and years and years and years. Like, dude, that's a miserable existence, okay? I will tell you, like, if you think that your life sucks, like, imagine that's your dream life, dude, like, and your sleep life. It was awful. But yeah, long story short, like, I did end up calling out on the name of Jesus, and guess what? That shit works, okay? Like, excuse my French, but like, say what you will. I'm telling you, dude, have a nightmare and then try it. Any nightmare. It doesn't even matter what the nightmare is. You have a nightmare, you call out on the name of Jesus, you're gonna be awake, safe in your bed. I guarantee you. It has worked for me every time. Every single time. Like, and now I'm not afraid to go to sleep. Like, I sleep great. And that's a huge gift. So, yes, there is something to Jesus. Like, you can say whatever you want. To me, like, dude, Jesus is my savior, 100% my Lord and Savior. Like, I am totally unashamed to say that. And I'm so happy that, like, he found his way into my life because, if you watch my last video, after I left Jehovah's Witnesses, dude, I didn't want anything to do with God at all. And to be honest with you, I still want nothing to do with religion. And that's why, like, I don't go to church. I tried for quite a while. I just can't do it. It's not for me. Like, I end up, like, just not resonating, or they don't go deep enough also, because there's a lot of, like, conspiratorial, like, deep biblical cool stuff that's, like, in the Bible, and they just don't go into it. And, like, I like the meatier stuff, so I don't know. I'm not satisfied with, like, the surface level whatever, sorry, you guys are talking to me and I'm just ranting. Noticed I never get scared in dreams. Well, that's good. Border between lucid dreaming, normal sleep. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks. It's nice to just sleep and have dreams, and like even if you do have a horrible nightmare, like to be able to do something. And well, so the interesting thing too is this: people who get abducted by aliens, that's totally a spiritual thing. Like, because and if you look this up, it's something that the government, it's something that the media has completely hidden from us. But like people who get abducted by aliens, which I believe is actually just sleep paralysis. I don't think they're actually being abducted by aliens. I think they're having a sleep paralysis experience. Um, but either way, it's a demonic thing. Yeah, it's just sleep paralysis, exactly. Because that's how you feel when you have sleep paralysis, too. It's like not necessarily someone's working on you, although I have had that, or where I've even had it where a being is like raping me. And like if you listen to people who get abducted by UFOs, it's the same thing. Like they're like, someone's probing me, someone's raping me, like whatever it is, it's a demonic thing. And if you don't believe in demons, you can call it whatever you want. You could say that it's a negative entity or an evil entity, whatever it is. But that's a demon, bro. Like, you might use a different word, but it's the same thing. And there are negative entities in this world. Like, believe there are. Um, but yeah, every single person who tried calling on the name of Jesus during their alien abduction, the experience immediately ended. Immediately, which is insane. So that confirms to me that alien abduction is a spiritual sleep paralysis thing. But how amazing is that? Like, dude, if you're ever abducted by aliens, just call out on the name of Jesus and like you'll be back in your bed immediately because you're having a spiritual experience. And like that I felt like that was the coolest thing. I'm like, whoa, what? But it totally makes sense. Yeah, it ends because you're sleeping. Yeah, exactly. Like it's a sleep paralysis, and sleep paralysis is a spiritual thing. Like everything is a spiritual thing. I think that's what people don't understand also is like everything we do is pretty spiritual. Like sleeping is spiritual because God sends you dreams and like demons invade your dreams. Like you go into a different mysterious weird realm when you're dreaming. Like who the hell knows where we even go? You're not in your body, but you are at the same time, but like you're kind of not. Um yeah, I don't know, it's really interesting. I think dreams give us some kind of clue. Like for example, I discovered pretty recently what deja vu actually is. Deja vu is when you live a moment that you dreamed in the past. And I learned that because there was this moment where I was like talking to my best friend in the kitchen like a couple years ago, and I was like, "Oh my god." I realized suddenly I was like, I had the worst deja vu. And I knew exactly why in that moment. I was like, I dreamed every second of this moment. And it was like a full like 3 minutes. And the whole thing was a dream that I had. And I remembered like immediately. And I was like, oh my, and it happened to me more than once too. But once I had that connection and I realized, I was like, oh my God, that's why deja vu feels familiar. Because you have lived that moment in your dream. So like dreams are this weird thing because like, is it telling you the future? Is it telling you a possible future? I think it is. I think it's telling us a potential future that we can have. But maybe it's showing us like different timelines too. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you have a dream, for example, doesn't mean it's going to come true, but maybe it's showing you a potential timeline. Like this is what could happen. And then when you have the deja vu, you're remembering because I mean, you had that moment in your dream, you know? Um well, that's an interesting way to overcome sleep paralysis, I guess. But I don't think sleep paralysis has anything to do with death. I mean, it's like someone's in there trying to hurt you. I mean, even if I'm okay with death, like I still instinctually want to get away from being trapped and paralyzed not being able to speak or do anything barely. Like, it's a horrible feeling. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm just ranting at this point. But um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of subjects, and that's why I do have another channel. I haven't been on there in a while, but where I just talk about spiritual stuff and like try to give some of my wisdom or whatever. Cause dude, I mean, it's been years and years and years that I have been chasing God and following Him, and really like on my spiritual journey. And that's the most important thing in my life, without a doubt. 100% is my spiritual journey. I know a lot of people don't want to hear about that stuff though, so, sometimes I don't talk about it that much, but God's the most important thing to me. Period. Like, period. It's God. Like, I love God. I know He loves me. He talks to me all the time, sends me little synchronicities, and he's the best in the world, okay? The best of the best of the best. And that will never change for me. Like, I've always been obsessed with God. I always will be obsessed with God. Like, and He knows this. Like, and I'm very grateful to have a relationship with God the way that I do. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't really care about that or want to hear about that. So I do have another channel though where I talk about that a lot. That channel's called Spread Hope Like Fire. Just each individual word, spread hope like fire. But I haven't been on that channel in a long time because I've just been busy. Like, I have a lot of other projects. I'm kind of one of those people that needs to like hyper focus my attention because I have a lot of hobbies and things that I like, and I'm a very like multifaceted interests type person. So if I'm not careful, I have a million hobbies and things that I want to do, and I end up not doing anything, you know? So, I don't know. But I mean, I'm glad I have so many interests, but if I don't focus them like in a good way, then I tend to get overwhelmed, and I'm like, I'll just do nothing because there's too many options or whatever. But God, yeah, God is my main obsession. uh, but music after God, and I'm very grateful also that God allows me to do music, and in all the things I've asked Him. The cool thing about God is like He'll never force you to do anything. Never. Even I've asked Him so many times, what do you want me to do? Just tell me. Like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And like, dude, He will never. And he even revealed to me one time. He was like, dude, I will never, like, I'm not gonna give you even an idea. Like, I want you to pick. How cool is that? Like, he loves that He gave us free will. He's all about free will, and like, that's the cool thing, because He respects us. If He wanted a puppet or a robot, that's what He would have made. But He didn't make us robots. And even when I've really needed, I'm like, I need you to tell me what to do, because I'm lost, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not saying He won't give you hints, because like, He will. But the thing is, like, what I'm really referencing is like when I moved to Japan. I was like, dude, I don't know if I should do this, and I really need you to tell me. And eventually, like, I got that feeling in my heart, and He was like, I'm not gonna tell you. Like, I heard that in my spirit. He's like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, because I want you to do what you want to do. I want you to decide. And like, dude, I respect that a lot about God. I really do. Because even, he wants us to do what we want. And I've told Him so many times, I'm like, if you don't want me to do music, I won't do it. I won't do it. And I'm like, you can tell me to do something else. And just remove the desire altogether for music. Because if it's the wrong thing for me, like, I don't want to do it. And no, like, he's like, no, He actually has told me. he's like, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But he never told me you have to do this, you know. He's a gentleman, dude. Like, and I'm saying he because, like, you know, we have to personify God as something. But, you know, some people refer to God as source or the universe or whatever. But, you know, I refer to God as a he because I think that makes the most sense. And like I said, I saw Jesus, so I'm talking about Jesus. um, but yeah, I appreciate that a lot because think about even a person you love. You have things you want them to do that you know would be good for them. And if you could and you had the power, maybe you would even make them do it, you know? Like maybe you have a child and you're like, "God, I just wish they would do this," or "I wish they would like kick that drug addiction or whatever it is, or get responsible with their life, or you know, save more money or go to college or whatever." Like as humans, like even loving someone so much, we would actually force against their will if we could. And we do a lot of the times. We force people, you know? And God made us and he's like, "I'm not going to force you to do anything." Like like even if you really want me to tell you, I'm not going to tell you because like he respects us that much and he's like, "No, I didn't make you to be a robot." And maybe that step that you're about to take is a bad decision, but like the thing is, if I respect and love someone and respect and appreciate and love their free will and honor that, like I'm gonna let them do that, you know. And but God also cheats in our favor. I love that. I was just listening to something, and someone used that expression, and it's so true. God cheats in our favor. So even if you're gonna make a really bad decision, God's not mean. Like he still loves you, and he'll be like, "She's gonna screw this up. Like I'm gonna go ahead and like put some protective things in place, but like he'll still protect you because he loves you, you know. He's not going to let you completely like drop the ball and ruin your life, but so like he always has like safety nets for you. And that's what I realized is like everything's going to be okay. Like if you just know and understand like God does cheat in your favor. You know, do I think he cheats in everyone's favor? No. Like I'll say it like this. So a totally random person on the street, do I love that person more than I love my own dad? No. Well, I don't. Like I don't know that person. Like I have love for that person. I respect their autonomy. I respect them as an individual. I care about their safety. I want them to be happy and healthy and all that stuff. But like, do I want that for them more than I want it for my dad or say my best friend or you know, even a close coworker? Well, probably not because I don't know that person. You know, I wish them well and I want good for them. I'm gonna treat them with respect and dignity, but like I love my dad more than I love that random person. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, all of us would say that, you know? Um, and I think God is the exact same way. Like, I have a relationship with God. I talk to God all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time. He knows that. And like he has a relationship and a knowledge and an awareness of me as well, obviously, because I'm focusing on him. I'm calling out to him. I'm saying, "Hey, I'm here. Like I love you. Like I'm doing this and I want you to be proud of me and like I'm thinking about you, you know?" And I get down on my knees and I pray to him, yes, and like I submit myself to him because the thing is, if I submit myself to nothing, what kind of a person am I going to be? Like if I submit myself to nothing, again, I'm subject to becoming a slave of something else, some other idol in my life. I'm gonna become a slave and start worshiping a husband or a boyfriend or you know, a physical statue of something even because I'm a human being. I need to worship something. So, you know, subjecting myself and honoring God. And dude, he does notice that stuff and he shows me every day that he notices. And like,
it's incredible when you talk to God, the little things that he'll either like put something in your spirit, like you hear him whispering to you. So, and I hear people all the time, and they're like, I just had this feeling, or something just spoke to me. Yeah, that's God. It's not a something, it's God. Like that little voice that's not you. Hello, that's God. Like, yeah, he's in there. Like, he's in there. You gotta listen for him, but he is in there. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, it blows me away that he even cares about us. You know, he could have easily just made us and been like, whatever, like let them do their thing. You know, but he actually, like I said, he cheats in your favor because he loves you. And like the cool thing is that he actually made all of us on purpose. Like if you're here, surprise, God literally made you individually on purpose. Not just on purpose. Like he designed you. I think about that. I'm like, why'd you do it like this, Lord? Like, you know, I'm like, is this really? This is, but like he made you and he enjoys you. You know, it's so crazy to me. Like just the way that I enjoy when I see a cat and it's doing all its cat stuff. I'm just like, you're just so cute being a little cat. Like that's God sees us the same way, dude. He's like, just my little human, just being a human. Like I'm so proud of the way that she's humaning, you know, or he's humaning, you know. I don't know. I think it helps me also be nicer to myself because I realize I'm just a human, you know, and I'm humaning the best that I can. And so are you. Like we all are, and that's okay. Like it's okay to just human and be a human. And know that God doesn't hate you, you know? And a lot of people are very afraid of God, and I used to be that way too, like very afraid that he's disgusted by them, you know? And the thing is though, like he made you a human. He knows what you are. He already knows what you are. He designed you. Like it's okay to be a human. You don't have to be ashamed. Just do the best that you can, you know? Don't hurt anybody. And like you'll be fine. So, and yeah, everyone's relationship with God is different, and some people have a very bad relationship. I used to have a terrible relationship with God. I was very angry at him for a lot of years, and I was like, dude, don't even come in my life. Like, I don't want you in my life. You know, I knew he was there. I knew he existed, but I was like, dude, you don't care about me. Like, I had called on him. I had sought after him when I was a Jehovah's Witness, and like I heard nothing but crickets that entire time. You know, well, probably because Jehovah, the God that they worship, is not really God. Surprise, huh? And they don't worship God anyway. They worship the governing body. It's a whole other mess if you want to look into it. But yeah. Anyways, that's a whole rant. I don't know. I didn't mean to really like go on a whole God rant, but there we are. Like these are the things that are on my mind. I mean, these are the things I like to talk to about. I mean, you guys probably already know this, but I don't like to have shallow conversations. You know, I really don't. And that's why sometimes like I just don't want to hang around other people because they want to have these like vapid, shallow, very basic conversations, and I just hate that. I'm like, dude, I'm thinking about the universe and aliens and like CERN and freaking reptilians and like all these different things and like you know, I don't want to talk about the weather necessarily. Like I got a lot going on in here that I would like to explore, you know. But thankfully, I meet a lot of really cool people who want to have deep conversations as well. So, you know, that's good. I mean, that's what I am about, though. You know, I want to have deep conversations. And sometimes a little shallow, whatever conversation is fine. I mean, oh, you're leaving? Okay, metamorphosis. Who am I having a conversation with right now? What? Oh, dude, you're commenting like a lot. There's only so many things I can respond to. That's cool, you're Muslim. Okay.
I don't really know what you're saying, but thanks for hanging out. I'm glad you came. Um, yeah, I'm having a conversation with you guys and myself right now is what I'm doing. And I'm grateful for everybody who popped by. I had no idea it's been 2 hours. Let me see if my phone battery is gonna die here. Okay, I got 23%, so I don't have that much left. Regardless, though, I'm gonna take a break because I want to explore the area that I'm in real quick, and I want to kind of get settled because like I checked into my hotel room and then I kind of just did a live right away because I realized I had been neglecting you guys. Um, but yeah, I want to get my stuff together. I think I am gonna, if not tonight, then tomorrow morning I will do a little guitar performance for you guys because like I feel bad. I haven't even gotten to film a single performance of mine, and oh, you were trying to make me. Okay, I didn't know what. I just looked down and saw some weird. I was like, "What? Are you angry or something?" That I'm not. I'm trying to do my best, like responding to. But if when it sometimes when it just keeps going, like if I'm on a mental roll, like I'm not even gonna look down really, because like I'm caught in a like thought loop or something. So sorry, but I do my best. I do my best. I get what you're trying to do though. Um, but yeah, I think if we do a little music performance, there's my guitar behind me. That would be kind of cool. And if you guys have any songs too, you think I see I'm building my whole like set list, excuse me, repertoire right now. So I have maybe like well, I have 40 something songs that I can do total. But I need a piano to be able to do all of those. But maybe 20 something on guitar that I can do. I'm gonna like make a master songbook so that when I do a set, I just like turn to whatever I'm gonna. But yeah, I need more songs in my repertoire, and I've been doing pretty well actually, considering really I've only been studying guitar like I mean, I had already, I started playing guitar when I was a teenager, but I didn't really take it seriously. I just kind of like fooled around or whatever. Um, and yeah, I was pretty good though. But again, I just didn't take it seriously. But so for the past like 6 months, I have been taking it seriously. Of course, I haven't had the time to do it every day, but I notice I'm getting a lot better. And, I mean, I'm not a professional by any means, but I have a chord, like a basic chord knowledge now, I guess you could say, um, that I'm building on. So I feel pretty good, and my calluses have built up very nicely again. Actually, my fingers are probably more calloused than they've ever been, which is great. Um, so yeah, I'm feeling more confident. But I'm getting better at performing in front of people. I mean, if you do music or anything like that and you've never done it in front of another person, it's really terrifying because there's a lot of things you have to remember. I mean, it's not just singing, like you're also remembering the lyrics and remembering the chords and trying not to mess up like while you're playing them, and there's a lot that mentally goes into that, but thankfully I'm really good at doing more than one thing at the same time. Um, in fact, I get better. Like if I layer more things on top, it kind of makes me better at doing it. I don't know how that works, but like singing while playing an instrument is easier than just playing the instrument by itself, and I don't really understand how that works, but my brain is that's how my brain is. So, um, yeah, I'm grateful. I used to watch people sing and play guitar at the same time, and I was like, just I had I would watch my dad do it actually. My dad's a really good musician and a singer songwriter as well. So genetically, I probably get it from him. Um, but I would watch him, and I would just be mesmerized, and I would be like, how is he doing that? Like, how is he singing and like playing an instrument at the same time? It blew my mind. But now, like, it's so easy. Like, it's the easiest thing ever. But I think you have to like have something switch in your brain where you're able to do it. I don't know, or you just practice, I guess, and get better at it or something. But anyways, yeah. So let's plan to do that. We'll do a little live concert. Um, Maybe I'll just compile like 5 songs or something like that, or we'll see how we go. I mean, like I said, the acoustics in this room are incredible. But it kind of depends on my voice too. I kind of look and see what my voice is sounding like. Because, I've had a cough and cold. But I think I'm gonna scoot. Thank you guys so much for watching and just hanging out with me. I know it was kind of like a random conversation, but I dig it. Like, I really don't mind. I can talk forever too. I'm such a chatterbox. Like, I just, even if nobody's around, I'm always talking. Talk to myself. Like I said, I talk to God constantly. I got a lot going on upstairs, and I like to formulate it. I think that's why I like singing. Singing is just, it's like I just like making noise with my face. I guess, like, I have to make these noises with my face, otherwise I just can't exist in this life. I don't know what it is. Okay. Anyways, yeah, thank you for being here. And if you are new to the channel or anything, this is my travel channel. I'm in Thailand. I've been in Thailand for like 2 months now, almost. I'm gonna be here until the end of April, backpacking around Southeast Asia. And yes, it was a nice conversation, metamorphosis. And you're not at fault. No, like I said, I will talk. I would say it's a problem, but it's not a problem because I think if I didn't like talking so much, then I wouldn't be a singer. I wouldn't sing. So I think it has its utility. But certainly if you don't like listening to me talk, this isn't the right channel for you to be on. Like I've talked about this before, but there's people who tune into channels and they're like, ugh, why are you talking so much? You're talking too much or whatever. And it's like, dude, that's their channel. Like, you're watching a channel of that person. Duh, they're gonna be having a conversation with the camera. Like, what do you think this is? It's like, if that person annoys you, you should probably not be on their channel. So certainly if you find me annoying, like, please do us both a favor and like, just find another channel, because like, I'm a chatterbox. I'm gonna be chatterboxing. That's my personality. So, I like myself a lot, so I don't need you to like me, okay? And we can part ways if you don't like me, and it's totally fine. Let's see. I think I should say this, but I felt a connection as soon as I opened your live. Oh, thank you. Is this your first time coming onto my channel, Metamorphosis? Also, I'm curious about your username because The Metamorphosis, like the Franz Kafka book, that's an interesting book if you've ever read that. It's like a guy who turns into a bug. It's really interesting. And then he's like a bird into his fan. I actually related to that book a lot. But is that where your name came from? This is your first time coming on my channel? Dude, I'm not gonna blow my own horn. I would say it's a pretty cool channel. No,
I try to like do some cool stuff on this channel. It's been a little erratic lately, but and you know we're in a transition, but travel, it's gonna be more music. Oh, the name represents your life. Okay, that's great. Metamorphosis, that's beautiful. Transformation, man. We're all like little caterpillars, you know, just inside our cocoon. Everything's melting and seems chaotic and horrible, but in the end, we turn into a beautiful, majestic butterfly, you know? When I turned 24, my life's meaning changed. I experienced God. That's so cool. I would be very interested to hear about your experience with God, because that's the best thing you can experience in life. Um, and I think it's, you know, I just don't understand if people aren't at least a little interested in God, you know. Like I get the whole atheist thing, I really do, but I think that's such a sad way to live. I was thinking about it actually last night, how much life would suck if I didn't have God in my life, you know? I would really, like, I would have no meaning at all. And I think that's one way to experience your reality and your existence, you know, and that is a lot of people's reality. That's just, like, I would never want that reality, you know? I think it's so much more beautiful to have hope. And, you know, either one takes faith also. Like, people say being an atheist, oh, well, I don't have the faith for God. But being an atheist, you're putting faith in guessing that there isn't a God, because there's no proof that there's not a God either. I mean, I would argue that there's way more proof that there is a God. But yeah, atheism also takes faith, and it is a belief. Any belief system takes faith, you know. Um, let's see. I felt extreme disconnection from the world, how it was so meaningless and temporary. I never thought about life in the bigger picture. Then I heard all kinds of voices in my head. Also, I a little high. Well, sometimes that helps, honestly. You know? First time you ever got high. You had an experience with God the first time you got high? Dude, that's dope. That's awesome. It can definitely. I assume you're talking about weed. Like weed can definitely like deepen your spiritual senses. I feel, because I've definitely had really spiritual experiences on weed. Um, and I think people should be more careful with weed, honestly, because it just it has a spiritual. Just like I said before, everything in this life is spiritual, dude. You could be taking a dump, pardon my grossness, and like that is a spiritual experience, because you're emptying like the negative, like like dirty, unnecessary things, and it's like a cleansing. You know, sex is a spiritual experience. Eating food is a spiritual experience. Dude, we're living in a spiritual experience. You know, this is a spiritual realm that we're in. Um, it's very interesting to me. Like, who knows where we are, dude? I'm always thinking about this constantly. Where are we? You know, whoa, we think we're on a spinning ball in outer space. Like, really? There's zero proof of that, bro. Zero. Oh, what, you saw an AI recreation on TV? Like, that wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world to just make up, you know? And you could actually just be on some Truman Show, like, thing, and you would have no idea. Like, no idea. Dude, it's so easy to show people things on TV. I don't believe anything that I see on TV. You know, I definitely don't believe we're living on a freaking spinning ball. It's like ridiculous. Let's see. It was almost a year ago, completely changed my perspective on life. The voices said, "Oh, you're here finally." What? Okay. I had. Bro, I'm actually really glad you came on this live because I got baked one time and I started hearing. I have always heard voices, but all this was very different. This was several voices, and they were like, "Finally, we've broken through." That's literally exactly what they said to me. They said, "Finally, we've broken through to you. We've been trying to get through for years." And they were so excited, and I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, "Dude, I've finally lost my marbles." I was like, "Okay, this is," and dude, I was pretty baked, but I was like, "Okay, I'm just super baked." But no, they went on. They kept talking to me. Yeah. Oh, they said this to you too. Okay, yeah, they said this to Metamorphosis. "Let's get you on par with reality." This is something very similar to what they said to me. They were like, "You're on a really important mission," and they started saying all these things. Dude, I will tell you, that's demons. That wasn't a God experience. That was demons, because I had the same experience, and I was like, huh, okay, okay, okay. And I was like, "Well, I rebuke this in Jesus' name, and I cover myself in the blood of Jesus. And if this is not of God, then I rebuke it and I command it to stop right now." And it stopped. And if it wasn't demons, then it wouldn't have stopped. And literally, they said exactly the same thing to me. All of it sounded like all of a sudden someone had installed a radio in my head. And I've only told like one person this, by the way, but I'm telling you because, yeah, there were 10 of them. Okay, God would never talk to you as 10 different. Yeah, they were talking amongst each other. That's exactly. They were all excited talking amongst. Sometimes I could bear. I was like, it was like, and they were like, "This is a transmission, and we've been trying to reach you from the Federation." You know, dude, that's bullshit. It's demons, and they're trying to play with your brain. They're trying to trick you. Yeah, I rebuked it in Jesus' name, and then it stopped. Dude, if something like that happens, I'm telling you, we have power in Jesus' name, okay? Say whatever you want. I don't care what people, if they think I'm crazy. Dude, you have an experience like that, and then call out on Jesus and see what happens to you, and then tell me that I'm crazy. You know, there's power in Jesus' name, okay? Because he is God. When God, whatever God is, when he comes down to earth, his name is Jesus. When he's in human form, his name is Jesus. So like if you're curious, "Oh, why is it Jesus?" Because when God was here as a man, he was Jesus. That's who he was. So Jesus, like my name is Suzanne in human form. I'm not Suzanne. Like that's not what I am. You know? I'm a lot more than that. But I'm a human right now, and this human's name is Suzanne, you know? And like God is the same thing. Like when as far as I understand it, you know, I don't know everything, and like I'm still learning, but when God is a human being, he's Jesus. That's what he is. So I think it's interesting. Kept saying, "What am I? God didn't cross my mind." Dude, you got to be really careful, cuz that experience, when I had it, like I told my best friend at the time, and he was like, "Dude, that sounds completely demonic." And he was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "I know." And also, like, keep in mind, demons love to make people think that they've lost their minds. That's their ultimate goal. So someone who's very badly demonically oppressed will start exhibiting symptoms of schizophrenia. And I'm only saying this because it's happened to me, and I exhibited and have exhibited symptoms of what doctors would call schizophrenia for many years, my whole life, really, until it started getting really bad. And I would always hear, like, if you know about schizoaffective disorder, it's like you're hearing like thousands of like almost like a crowd in your mind, but maybe they're all saying the same thing to you in different ways, and usually it would be really nasty, horrible things, and that would be my reality for many, many years of my life, telling me to hurt myself, telling me that I'm ugly, you know, all sorts of terrible things, or just whispering things about other people to me. Well, what I found out was that all those things are demons. All of those voices were never me. I thought they were. Those are demons. And they want you to hate yourself. They want you to hate other people. They want you to be miserable. They want to make you lose your mind. And yeah, like it's a really heavy topic, but it even progressed eventually into me hearing voices out loud, like audible voices. I would hear my dad, I would hear my mom, I would hear my brothers. I would be asleep sometimes. One of the last times it happened to me, I heard so clearly my brother um, saying my name right next to my ear, and I was dead asleep, and I hear him saying my name, and it was so loud and so obvious. I woke up and I said, "Huh?" And then I was like, "Oh God." I was like, "Ew, no, I rebuke that in Jesus' name." Um, so yeah, like that's a demon's ultimate goal, is to make a person crazy off their ass with schizophrenia. And like schizophrenia makes perfect sense when you remember that there's demons, because it's like, how are these people hearing and seeing things outside of themselves? Duh, it's a spiritual experience. Like, when you think about it in a spiritual aspect, it makes so much sense. And schizophrenia also runs in my family, which makes a ton of sense. And so it seems that I had been marked from birth by these demons. And I mean, not to say anything about myself, I mean, I'm a very humble I'm just a person, dude. But like, metamorphosis, you said that you have a feeling I'm a very blessed person. I don't think you're wrong. I think of my family, there's something going on where I was marked from birth pretty obviously, because I had been so tormented. I remember having visions, demonic visions, sexual visions, violent images. I would lay in my crib at night and see that stuff. And like, I thought it was normal. I mean, I didn't know that there was anything weird about that, And then had always been attacked by demons my whole life. And, someone said something to me at one point a couple of years back. They were like, why would you be attacked like that if you weren't a threat to the kingdom of darkness? And I was like, wow, that actually like really makes sense. And again, not saying like, I'm some amazing whatever, but yeah, like I do think I have been there's a reason why I left Jehovah's Witnesses, you know what I'm saying? Like some of us are curse breakers in our family, and like, I feel like that's my destiny, honestly, was to be a curse breaker in my family. And somebody's little old kingdom of darkness doesn't like that. So they gotta be tormenting me or whatever. Sorry, you guys are talking and I'm not even. Okay, so that's really cool though, Metamorphosis, that you had that experience. No, you're not the Antichrist. And you know how many people I've heard say that? And it's because, again, demons inject this like fear into you that, oh, you're the Antichrist. Or I've had demons tell me, oh, you're this, but they see, when you hear it in your mind, you hear it as your own voice, but it's not coming from you. It'll be like, oh, I'm this, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm this. None of that is actually you saying that. And by the way, you have the authority to be like, no, I reject that. That's not true. When those voices come up in your mind, you need to tell them that's not true. And I never knew that when I was growing up and when I was younger, to actually come against those voices and be like, no, that's not true. I rebuke that. Let's see. Well, you felt inclined towards evil ever since being a child. I don't really understand that, but I would say it's demonic completely. And you can come against all of that stuff. And I mean, if you're looking at yourself and able to
recognize that about yourself, I would say it's good, because if you actually were an evil person, I don't even think evil people would have the wherewithal to be like, I'm inclined toward evil. They would just be like, no, I'm just being me. I'm just doing my thing. I'm living for myself. You know, they don't even have the concept of like, should I really be doing this? Is this right or wrong? You know, so I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to that much because like I don't relate to feeling an inclination towards evil other than the fact that like humans, like none of us are good per se, you know, even the best of us are not good enough, you know, but we try. The sky is pink says demons can be deceptive. They can be nice to trick you. That's 100% true as well. And also, people forget about the devil masquerading as an angel of light, you know? And that's the trouble with all the New Age stuff, too. Like, I was really deep in the New Age for a lot of years, and the devil masquerades as an angel of light. Like he just does. Like you start getting these things, and even that experience that happened to me where they're like, oh, we're from the Federation, you know, when I was having the thoughts like beamed into my mind or whatever. I talked to this lady recently, and she was like covered in tattoos, like all over her face and everything. And she was like yeah, I'm a high, she was old too, like older, probably at least in her 50s. And she was like, I'm a high priestess, you know. And I was like, oh, what are you a high priestess in? And she was like, well, the Federation of Galaxies, and like started talking about all this stuff. And I was like, okay, like it's like the light worker thing, you know. And that, I think that's what the demons were trying to initiate me into, because when they beam themselves, or when they say they're beaming themselves into your mind and they're like, we finally reached you, that's exactly what they had said to me. You know, they were like, we're from the Federation. And I think if I would have gone along with it, they would have, and they did tell me, they were like, you're chosen, you know. And I was like, dude, did I lose my marbles completely? Like, no, you didn't lose your marbles, dude. You're just like talking to demons. So, you know, that's what it is. Um, uh, No, I don't think we have to listen to demons' stories, because the thing is, their whole thing is like lies and trickery. And I mean, you can try that route. Go ahead and try it. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, you will not succeed. And the thing is, like, the more of those doors you open, the worse your life is going to be. I guarantee it. Like, people who get involved with doing like magic, which all that stuff is real. It's 100% real. It's real. Like, but it's not good. And you're inviting a whole lot of shit into your life that you do not want. Believe me. Like, believe me. You want to go down that route, like, you can go. You can go, like, have a great time. Because, like, that's a road that I don't want to go down, I will tell you. I've been down that road, dude. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I choose Jesus. That's who I choose. So, like, you can't overcome their influence. I mean, if you overcome their influence, like, then just stay away from them. Like, and that's the thing, too. That light does not fellowship with darkness. So the thing is, like, the stronger you get in your relationship with God and about His kingdom, like, you're going to level up. You still get attacked, don't get me wrong, but it's very different. Because, like, I get attacked, but it's like, you know, maybe I'll have a dream here and there. Usually though, like, the devil already knows the dream kingdom. It's not really the place anymore for him to attack me, because like I can just call out on Jesus, and it works. And even with anything else, like I noticed, like, with the voices and stuff, I got one. When was that? Maybe it was like 6 months ago. I heard my dad, I think, say my name. But I know exactly what it is now. So it's like, you're not fooling anyone. Like, I already know that it's like, here's a creepy little demon by my bed sitting here. And you know how I know this? I love that there's 5 of you on here, by the way. I'm really glad, like, you guys are listening to me because this is totally random. But, like, one time I was fasting, right? I decided to do a 3-day fast. I had been fasting for 2 days, and I was having these horrible demonic nightmares. And so my best friend was like, you can stay at my sister's house. And so I stayed on her couch. And as soon as I was falling asleep, I knew something was weird because I felt like my entire body was vibrating, like really, really hard. It was vibrating like really hard, but I wasn't moving at all. And I then started hearing this chanting, this you know, like the really low, I can't go that low, but like the really low, like Buddhist chanting. I started hearing that. But by then, I felt like I was still awake, but by then I wasn't actually awake anymore. And then, like, cue the sleep paralysis because I was looking around and I was on her couch. I had all the blankets, I had all the pillows, everything was exactly as I had fallen asleep. So I was like, you know, I'm just thinking, oh, I'm awake. Well, I look over off the side of the couch, and like I also noticed though, like it's looking weird in the living room there where I was sleeping. It was like very dark and kind of almost like a weird bluish creepy light was coming in. But anyways, I look over and there's my sister. Well, it looks like my sister anyway, kneeling by right in front of me. Like, you know, if I was on the couch, you know, if this is the couch, and this is like my head is like right here or whatever, like she's kneeling right here, right next, like, you know, a foot away or whatever. And she is just thrashing her tongue all around, praying in these demonic tongues. These words are coming out of her mouth that sound disgusting, and I can tell it's a demonic language. You know, in dreams you can just tell like what's happening, even though you would never know that really otherwise. So I knew she's praying in demonic tongues. Her skin looked purpley blue, gross, zombie, like, and this wind was coming through her hair. I knew it wasn't actually my sister. I knew it was like a representation of Jezebel from the Bible. If you know what that is, there's a whole like spirit of Jezebel, which is like the spirit of manipulation and witchcraft. And a lot of people are actually like haunted by the spirit of Jezebel, I guess you could say. She's not a good one, you know? But I saw that and I was like, wow, it freaked me out. I mean, I knew what it was immediately, but it freaked me out. And I don't think I would have been seeing that had I not been fasting also. So I called out on Jesus and I woke up immediately, thank God. And, you know, I started praying right then and there and just speaking out to the atmosphere too. You know, I rebuke this, and you got to do that too, man. Like speak to the room, because the thing is, like, you're not alone in there. You're not ever alone. You know, there's a spiritual world that's around you, and like it's listening to you. So if I ever feel freaked out, I just start commanding the room around me, you know? I am protected in Jesus' name. I am protected. I have nothing to fear. I trample on snakes. Like, just say it all. Like, just be proud, you know, and know that your words matter in this spiritual realm that we're in, you know, and take authority over the space that you're in, and claim it for the kingdom of light, you know, the kingdom of God. But yeah, that experience, that nightmare, sleep paralysis thing, it really showed me a lot of the time what's actually happening when we have a nightmare. Because I think, like, literally, that's what's happening. Like, there's a demon that's probably kneeling next to your bed, just like how I saw in my dream, just saying some ugly, demonic prayer, you know? And, like, that's probably what it is, which is pretty gross. Oh my gosh, I got 10% on my phone. Let's charge my phone. Hang on, I do want to read you guys' comments though, because some of you have been commenting. Okay, let's see. So, oops. Oh, actually, let me plug my phone in. If I don't plug my phone in, it's just gonna die, and then you guys will be like, "Where'd she go?" Oh my god, this cough. Okay. So, okay, the Sky is Pink says, I don't think everyone is inclined to desire evil. There's people who desire to do good and just despise when they fail to do evil. Doing evil feels like a burden to those people not doing good. Yeah, I think people are inclined, I think the flesh is inclined to evil things. Even if you're a good-hearted person, you know, we still do things that we shouldn't do. It's just human nature. But yeah, I wouldn't say like that we're inclined to doing malevolent things, you know, because there's things that we do that are evil, or maybe just bad, I guess. Like evil is like it sounds like you're intending to, you know. So yeah, I think maybe inclined toward bad is what I would say. I don't think humans are inclined towards evil. I think they're inclined towards maybe doing bad. You know, we do things we shouldn't do. But like good and bad is also relative to where you are. I'm noticing as I travel, and I've talked to God about this too. I'm like, you know, in certain cultures, like certain things that I feel like are bad are not bad in some cultures. You know, that's just how it is. And it's like, it depends on who you ask. Like, if something is good or bad, it depends on who you ask. And I don't know, that's very strange to me, too. How do you quantify that? It's like, I don't know. And certain things, like, don't matter. That's something else that I realized, is like, we each live in our own reality, right? We do. Like, we can touch and, like, try to we can, like, bridge the gap, so to say, and, like, try to explain to each other, but we can't really understand what someone's full reality is. We will never understand. Like, we could try to visualize it and try to, like, but we really can't, you know. But each one of us is living in our own planet. We really are. So when you think about it that way, like, I realized recently, like, we can choose what matters to us, you know? And, like, recently, like, I had kind of like a childhood memory resurface. That's kind of upsetting, you know? I'm not upset by it, though. I'm actually grateful to have remembered, and it kind of, like, explained a lot of things for me. But, you know, the nature of those kind of moments can be kind of upsetting. But what I realized in thinking about it and kind of going over it in my mind was that I can choose to say this happened to me and it doesn't actually matter. You know, it matters in the way of like it shaped me and in some way at least, and had an impact on how I experience life. But I can choose to say that now at this juncture in my life, it doesn't matter that happened to me. You know? Like, just like that, I can say that. And whereas maybe I could just, like, suffer over what happened, I could just obsess over it, I could be, and, like, I would be justified in doing that if I wanted to do that, but also I can say, it happened to me and it doesn't matter. Because I'm not there anymore, and I made it, I lived, and nothing can take that away from me, you know? And I love that. I love that in each of our realities, we can pick and choose literally what matters to us and what doesn't matter. And I notice in all cultures, people do that. Like, certain things matter very much in certain cultures, but in other cultures, they don't. And is that good or bad? I don't know. Like, it's very interesting.
And that's why, like, even though, like, I love Jesus, like, I don't call myself a Christian, and I don't obsessively read the Bible or anything, because, you know, I don't think the Bible has everything in there that we need. You know, Moses didn't have a Bible. Abraham didn't have a Bible. You know, I think you can have a relationship with God and, like, respect the Bible. Like, I certainly try to live my life by the Bible, the best that I can. But, like, do I think that the Bible is the end all be all? No, like, I don't. And I think there's different, deeper things that we just don't understand about the way reality works, you know. And like I said, reality for different people is not the same. Like, my reality is not the same as your reality. Like, can we agree on that? Because, you know, I'm out here traveling, I don't have certain things that other people have. And let's see, you guys are commenting and I'm totally ignoring you, I'm sorry. um Yeah, the demon being my sister. Yeah, it was creepy. It's interesting that the demon used my sister too, because me and my sister have some traumatic things that happened that really wrecked our relationship. And there's like a lot of like betrayal trauma, so I feel like it was really nefarious for the demon to use her. Kind of makes sense though. Let's see. Once regular tricks don't work, they try to up the game. Yep, it's true, dude. They do. Well, and once they realize they can't get you in the dream realm and they can't get you even in the waking realm through regular means, they get way more crafty because they try to react. Like, they'll get you by reacting in other people. Like, other people definitely have demons, and when you go around them, like, they will like activate. And, you know, sometimes you'll notice someone being very rude to you and you're like, what the hell, like, I didn't even do anything. Well, that's why you're just like irritating their demons. Your energy is like making them like manifest a demon basically. So let's see. Metamorphosis says, I used to have a crush on a girl, I really liked her, she lost her marbles. That's sad. No, it's not God. Like, that's demons, I'm telling you. Like, wield the name of Jesus like it's a sword. I mean, you don't have to believe me. Like, you do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like, dude, it works. Like, they don't like Jesus. So, and why wouldn't they like Jesus? Well, I don't know. Would you like a person who's God? Would you like God in human form? I probably wouldn't if I was a demon. Just saying, you know. But people can do what they want. I mean, I just that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's what I do when I'm having spiritual problems. You know, I guess you would say spiritual problems. And this world is a whole spiritual place. You know. And you can deny it too. Like, there's people who are like, there's nothing spiritual. I don't understand those people, but they, you know, sure, you can deny it, but like, eventually you're going to have to admit, like, you have no idea where you are. You have no idea when you are. Like, we don't even know the real year, dude. What year is it actually? Like, I guarantee you it's not what year we actually are told it is. Because how would we have any idea of knowing that? Like, it's funny to me when I see, like, on the news and stuff, they're like, oh, we did the testing and this is 3 million years old, this rock. And I'm like, dude, there's no way they would ever know how old a freaking rock is. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And the fact that they're like, oh, well, carbon dating. Okay, bro. Like, that's not possible. It's not possible, okay, to know how old something is by I'm sorry, you can do all the chemical testing you want. It just doesn't make any sense at all. To say that you can even ballparking it, I just think that's BS. Like, I don't believe that. I think it's stupid. So to say, like, we don't even know how old this earth is. We don't know what year it is. We don't know what shape the planet is. We don't know that we're on a planet, bro. Like, we literally don't know what, like, you saw something on TV, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I can go so deep. Like, this is all I think about, though. I think about these kinds of things because I think it's interesting, you know? And most people don't think about anything. They're just like, I gotta pay my bills and like file my taxes and which I mean I get it, but like I'm not about that. I'm like, dude, I want to know the deep secrets of the universe. You know, I'm curious. Like, I'm here. You know, and who? It's like, don't people wake up and just think to themselves like, why the hell am I here? Like, why am I? Because I've thought that. Especially me. I mean, I like no family, no nothing. Like, I think that all the time. I'm like, why am I here, dude? Like, hello, it doesn't make any sense. Like, for me to be here. Like, but I mean, it does. But just from looking at it from an outward perspective, you know, if I was looking at my life without the knowledge of the deeper things that I have, I would be like, there's no point to this, you know, there's no point whatsoever. But it's not true. Like, there's a purpose in everything. And there's even a purpose in suffering. Suffering has a great purpose. Like, humans, like, I don't know if you've noticed, we really need suffering. Because if we have a perfectly smooth, wonderful life, we turn into assholes. Like, if we're spoiled and we just have everything handed to us, we never suffer, like, that makes for a really bad human. I hate to say it. So, sprinkle some suffering in there, man. Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, you can also sprinkle in suffering and then it's still a horrible human. It takes the right, what do you say, like, attitude. Because if that person is suffering and they're just like, oh my God, I hate my life, why is this happening? It's so bad. And they're just like thrashing around and not trying to look for a lesson, dude, you're gonna have a terrible time. And you're still gonna suffer, by the way. Like, you cannot escape suffering, ever. It's not possible. Like, to exist is to suffer. I realized this recently. Like, to exist means to suffer because existing is uncomfortable and it brings suffering. Like, look at a baby. A baby, you have no complaints at all, right? Like, you've everything taken care of for you. But the thing is, you come into this world, it's cold, nobody can understand you, you can't understand anyone, you don't know what the hell's going on, you don't know what these people around you are doing, what their motivations are. Like, it's a free-for-all. You're trying to learn. You're, like, literally on your toe. Like, I don't know if you guys remember being a little kid like that. I remember, like, not being able to tell someone, hey, I'm hungry or I'm wet and I need a change. Like you're trying, but it's like all that's happening is you're like, ah, you're crying, you know, because you don't know what else to do. It's traumatic, you know, it's traumatizing. You're so uncomfortable. You're suffering because also you have no autonomy. And other people, you're relying on these other people. Maybe they care about you. They might not even care about you, though, let alone love you. And you're relying on them for everything. It's a very traumatizing part of life, to be honest. And I think that's why most people don't remember their very early childhood years, is because it is really traumatizing, confusing, horrifying. And you're never so helpless and just like vulnerable, you know. It's a traumatizing part of life. But so just even though you have everything though, and physically you're perfect also. I mean, usually, you know, some people are born with defects and stuff, but the typical person is born whole and healthy and perfect. And so to say even that if you're whole and healthy and perfect, you're still miserable just by existing. You're like, and even realizing you exist is horrible. You're like, oh my God, I'm here. Oh, this is horrible. Like, I'm uncomfortable, I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm whatever, you know? And being alive, you're in a constant state of trying to, like, just exist on a neutral level and be comfortable. So, and this requires a lot. I'm noticing I only take care of myself, obviously, but it requires so much because you're like, okay, I have to have like a skincare routine because I need to take care of the skin that I live in. I need to have a toothbrushing routine, so I have to have a morning and night routine to prepare myself for the day. I have to have a routine before I go outside because I have to protect my skin from the sun to make sure I don't get sunburned. And I have to put bug dope on to make sure I don't get bitten. The mosquitoes are horrible here. So, like, and maybe, okay, now I have to pee. Okay, I peed. Okay, now I'm relatively comfortable, but now all of a sudden I'm really thirsty, so I'm uncomfortable again. So I have to get something and now I'm hungry. Like, do you see how just existing is so uncomfortable and we're constantly trying to maintain like some type of homeostasis, like balance, and it's really, really uncomfortable. Like, as soon as we are comfortable, we're not again. We have to like readjust things. It's a constant battle, of uncomfortability and suffering. So then add on the emotional turmoils and the relationship issues and people being horrible and manipulative or wars or like anything on top of that, really, is extremely distressing and you're going to suffer. So, the suffering part is just part of being alive. And you're not alone, by the way. Like, a sea turtle also suffers, an ant also suffers. And don't get it twisted. They suffer just because they're alive, just the way that you do. Because, again, oh, they're chilling in the ocean. They feel good. Oh, now I'm uncomfortable because I'm hungry. Oh, I'm so hungry. How am I going to find food? I have to go find food now, and I didn't want to move because I was comfortable. Like, I'm chilling at the cleaning station or whatever with my turtle body. Dude, like, being alive is a constant struggle to just be comfortable. Like, and it's hard. Like, it's hard to get comfortable. You're never going to be fully comfortable, in this life. I don't know. I think it's interesting though because it's also good for us, like, because it's in that moving, in that seeking, in that trying to find some kind of equilibrium that we find like our strength. We find out like what we're good at, and we become competent. We really start to shine, and then like that's when you can live your life from a place of enjoyment, when you just accept like, I'm gonna be suffering. It's part of life, dude. Don't run away from it. Like, this drives me crazy when people are like dedicated to never suffering. No, just find meaning in your suffering. Find meaning in it and accept it. Like, it's not gonna go away. If you're not suffering in some way, you will be suffering in some other kind of way. Believe it. And if you don't believe it, then you haven't lived. And like, anyone who's lived life can tell you, you will suffer. And like, the chasing happiness thing is an illusion, because happiness is fleeting. Like, happiness is just like suffering is. Like, sometimes you're super happy, and then sometimes you suffer, and then you're happy again, and then you're suffering again. Like, and sometimes it's both. Like, there's times when I wake up in the morning and I'm crying. I'm overwhelmed and I'm crying, and then later on in the day I'm so grateful and I'm crying because I'm happy, or I'm laughing and I'm singing a song, and like, I feel alive. And like, that's just part of it. It's part of life. It's beautiful. It's not bad. Suffering is not bad. Like, it sucks and nobody wants to do it, but like, we have to. It's like a muscle, It doesn't feel good when the muscle's getting ripped and you're working it out and you're sore, and like, it feels horrible. But then like, the next time you go to lift something, you're way better at it, and you're like, oh, what is this? Like, I'm doing the thing better than I imagined I ever could, So, I don't know, like, those are some of the lessons, that I've learned. And I have been very blessed to learn a lot of great lessons in this crazy life that I've had. And I always tell God, if there's only one thing, like, if I can help one person with all this crazy experience that I have, then it's worth it. Like, even with my music and stuff, I'm like, if I can distill like a tiny percentage of the pain and suffering and lessons in life that I've experienced into a song that one person will hear, and it will just like annihilate them, where they're like, yes, this touched me, and that was exactly what I needed to hear, because now I know I'm not alone, and now I know that somebody else out there has endured this crazy shit and still came out the other end whole and like not lost their mind completely. Then there's hope. Like, and I have had people tell me that, and believe me, it's a big honor, because that's the only thing that I want. I'm like, if I went through all of this stuff and it's helped no one else, like, that's a failure, right? That would be a failure of my life. But if I can go through all of this stuff and still stand up and even just sing a song, and it means something to someone, damn, dude, like, then my life had a meaning. My life had a meaning, and it had a purpose for something, and it wasn't just pointless, meaningless suffering, or like pointless vagabonding around the globe for no reason. Like, I want to make art. Like, that's the reason you make art too, is because of pain. Because if I don't make art, then I just carry the pain around, and that's horrible. So, yeah, like, the best art, I think, comes from pain too, honestly. Like, it really does. It has, for me, fueled everything. And it makes me feel grateful even for the crazy stuff that I have had to go through, you know. Um, yeah, I feel honored in a lot of ways, to have gone through that stuff, even though, like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. I really wouldn't. But I look at it in the way of, like, man, I must have really needed that, Even what just happened with, like, if you tuned in at the beginning and I was talking about my family, the emergency, and then being like, well, anyways, we can't talk to you, so, I'm gonna go back to pretending you don't exist anymore. That's painful for me. Like, it was really painful to hear that, but, like, after I cried, and I got myself together, and I was like, okay, like, I accepted it. I was like, I can't change the way that they feel or what they're gonna do. I can just be me and accept it, and accept that there's something in that lesson that I need. And also, I think maybe even more importantly, there's something in this lesson that they need. Like, I think it's probably less even about me than what I'm thinking, And when I look at it that way, of like, okay, they're learning some kind of lesson too in all of this that they need, and I'm learning some kind of lesson that I need, that's when I'm able to, like, pick myself back up off the floor, and brush myself up and be like, okay, like, it's okay, actually, like that's actually okay. Whatever they're, and this is what you need to remember when it comes to relationships with other people, is like, you cannot change them, you will never change them. And so acceptance is really the best thing. Accept it and just let it flow and let it be that way, And there's this great poem. I think it's a poem. Trying to remember the lady's name, but there's a poem called "Let Them" that I really love, and it's basically, the gist is that, like people want to ignore you, okay, let them. People want to reject you, okay, let them. Oh, my phone's dying. I'm sorry. It's done. Charge a little while. Man, I guess I've been yakking on here for like 3 hours. Hello, coding. Yeah, I think I also wasn't getting some of these. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see you guys' comments. I literally wasn't even, like, having my comments load. That's crazy. Oh, the sky is pink. No, I do delve into the Bible. I read the Bible. I don't want to say I have doubts. There's just some. I think the Bible doesn't have everything. You know. Um, I don't know though. I still live my life by the Bible as if it is the final word, if that makes sense, in terms of trying to be obedient. But I don't know. Who's still alive? How long was I alive? What this person says, I feel like you're a very reasonable and unreasonable person at the same time. I don't let others dictate my spiritual space. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna ever believe in something because somebody else tells me that, you know? The paradox. Yeah, exactly. The sky is pink. Romans. We rejoice in. I don't know why I didn't get any of these messages before. Maybe because my phone was like being weird and almost dying. I didn't know either because I plugged my phone in, and then it wasn't actually charging. That other charging port is like not working, I guess. Okay, what else? About the bad times, we wouldn't appreciate the good times. Exactly. And that's true, you know, and even it's crazy because, like, I know people who have had such a good life and, like, it spoils you, you know? It does. It spoils you. Like, not to say that you need a terrible life or something, like, and nobody wants that either. Like, if I had kids, I wouldn't want them to struggle for anything or have a bad life. But, like, at the same time, it's like, you know, it's kind of maybe a stupid example, but sometimes I think about like a plant that's growing and it needs, well, weed is a good example, to be honest with you, like the cannabis plant, because it needs a certain amount of wind and like resistance in order to grow luscious and like whatever. And like, I don't know that much about growing weed, but what I do know is like it needs a breeze and it needs like some resistance. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't have that, it just kind of wilts. The other plants are probably like that too. Um, it needs even, well, the most beautiful tree. Look at the way they just sway in the wind. They learn to like resist in the best way. You know, it makes them better. I don't know. Let's see. I know, Jessica. That's crazy. You died 3 times. Dude, you are keeping on the good fight, man. Like, and you're an awesome friend to me. Like, sorry that I think you messaged me on Facebook and I didn't get it for like several days, so I'm sorry about that. Yes, metamorphosis. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. Yeah, exactly. Maybe, yeah, we exist because he perceives us. I've thought about that too, like, but we also perceive, you know? And I think also things exist because we perceive them. Like, it's some kind of weird matrix like that. Like this room that I'm in, like, is there anything outside of this room at all? I don't know, you know? Is there anything else? Solipsism is pretty interesting too, if you ever, like, looked into that. It could make you a psychopath if you're so inclined, but for me, it's just interesting to think about. I mean, oh yeah, LOL, you're back. Yes, I'm back. I'm still chatting. I'm going to say goodbye and give you guys a break from like listening to me, but what I want to do is let my phone charge for a little bit, get myself rehydrated, and warm up a little bit. I'm gonna tune my guitar, and then I was thinking I can play maybe a full set. I don't know where my voice is right now because I've been see, don't say that kind of stuff, dude. Like Metamorphosis says I'm already a psychopath. believe it or not, you telling yourself that stuff, even as a joke, it influences your mind and your body, because your body, being its own whatever it is, separate from you, taking care of you, is listening for instructions. And then when you tell it, you're like, I am this. This is what we are. Dude, it's listening to you. So say good things to the body, and to the mind. That's why I was saying before, don't just let whatever random thought come in there and fly with you, you know? Like, you don't want to be doing that. That's how people do become psychopaths, because they get some kind of thought wiggling in there. You're not your thought, by the way. You have thoughts. You are not thoughts. But thoughts can become things if you're not careful. So, like, don't grab on and be like, what? This is me? That's what I used to do. And I'd be like, oh my God, why am I thinking that? I'm a terrible person. Like, never mind that the thought is like a piece of trash floating by you in a pool. You don't have to, like, if a turd is floating by you in the ocean, do you reach out and grab the turd? No. Like, flick that shit away, dude. Like, it's the same thing with thoughts. Don't reach out and grab the terrible thought and mush it around in your hand. Like, ugh, no. Be like, ugh, gross, get away. That's what you do with a disgusting, despicable thought. You don't clutch it to yourself and rub it all over yourself and say, am I this? That's what I used to do, dude. All of us do that. If you have the thought, I am ugly, that's a terrible thought. Right? And it's not true, because you can't be ugly. You're made in the image of God, okay? You can't be ugly, and you are not ugly. You're a beautiful human. It's ridiculous. You're a masterpiece of God's creation. And, like, I wish everyone could know that on a deep, fundamental level. But, like, to have that thought float by in the ocean of life, I'm ugly. And then to grab that turd and to rub it all over your face and rub it all over your body, like, and just let it become you. Dude, that's the worst. Like, don't do that. No, flick it away, flick it away, flick it away. And swim away fast. You are not ugly. That's stupid. It's satanic. It's demonic. It's a lie. You have such good examples. Well, thank you. Like, and it's true though, like, please, like, and then it's like, if you have a beautiful thought, and people then, they don't allow themselves to have a beautiful thought. Because they'll have a beautiful thought, which is from God, and he's trying to tell you, he's like, I actually really love you. Did you know that when you do this, like, it makes me really happy, and I just enjoy seeing you exist, like floating around as a human and doing your thing, and even when you trip up and make mistakes, like, you're still humaning and I still love you, But, like, he'll send us one of those thoughts, maybe you look at yourself and you're like, my butt looks really good today in these jeans, or whatever, But you don't even allow yourself to roll that thought around in your mind, You'll clutch onto the turd thought, but then when you're like, my ass looks good today, you'll be like, oh, no, because, like, I still got the cellulite hanging out on my thighs, or, like, yeah, but, like, I really wish my stomach wasn't, like, pooched over. Like, we'll find something. You're going to find something to ruin that beautiful thought that God just gave you. And you do the, to the beautiful thought, or even a compliment. Somebody else, God sees fit to put it in someone else's heart to give you a compliment. To make you feel better, to make you happy and like improve your day. And they're like, maybe they'll be like, your ass looks great in those jeans. And you'll be like, yeah. Like, you can't accept that shit at all. You're like, yeah, but, like, I need to lose 10 pounds, dude. Or, like, yeah, but I'm really bloated because I ate a bunch of tacos yesterday at the party. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, accept the good compliment and clutch that to your chest. Take the good compliment, hold on to the good compliment, and feel good. Like, let yourself enjoy, That's one of these, like, realizations that I've had recently. And I've had a lot of them here in Thailand. because I'm spending a lot of time alone and with God. I'm just, focusing on healing and actually like being friends with myself. And that's one of the lessons and the messages that I've gotten is to just enjoy, you know. God has been telling me, enjoy. Like, enjoy being you, enjoy like vibing, like just enjoy life and being alive. Hello, Raw One. Sorry, you guys are commenting. I didn't even. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and we can't be happy all the time, anyways. Like, that's not even possible. And if you were happy all the time, you wouldn't even know that you were happy. You'd just be like, this is existence. Yeah, I just feel, you'd be numb to it. You'd just be like, I don't even know what's happening. Everything's great, I guess. Like, you'd probably be bored and not excited about anything. So, I don't know. For me, anyway, it has not been boring. I can't really say it's been boring. I've wanted it to be boring at times. Like, it would be nice to just have like a really boring life. Maybe live alone on a desert island somewhere. Just worry about survival. Like, I mean, even that wouldn't be boring, I don't think. But, I don't think life is boring. I think it's a lot of things, but it's not boring. How old am I? How old do you think I am? Is the question. Everybody always guesses wrong. Like, literally, I think I'm gonna stop telling people my age, actually. Even though you could easily find out if you really wanted to, but like, oh, 34. That's actually a pretty good guess. No, I actually just turned 36. So, but you're close. That's actually a good guess, because everybody guesses, the oldest guess I've gotten is 26. And I was like, I'll take it. Because usually people say 20, like 21. I had somebody say 19. I mean, I guess crying a lot is really good for your skin. Having a miserable life is really good for your skin and beauty routine, you guys. No, I don't have a miserable life. But I have like maybe it's like a sad face. I spent so much time having a sad face previously. It just does amazing things for the skin. No, it's probably more like I grew up in Alaska, out of the sun. That helps probably. You're turning 25, and it's a good thing. Oh, 25, man, yeah, that is happy early birthday. That's cool. 25, man, life was a very different place for me back then. But, I would say to someone in your 20s, like, you have so much time. Like, I mean, you do, but you don't. Like, I would say do whatever thing. Because when I was 25, I knew I was supposed to be doing music. Excuse me. And, I wasn't doing that at all. And I was, like, chasing a totally dead-end relationship with a guy who didn't even like me. And just miserable, And it's like, if I would have just done the thing that I knew I was supposed to be doing, I would have been so much happier. But, I was in my 20s. Like, nobody has any idea what they're doing in their 20s. And the thing that sucks is people can give you endless great advice, but you kind of just have to live that shit. Because, like, people gave me a lot of good advice, but the thing about my life was I had situations come up that were just so random, and I felt like nothing could have prepared me for what happened or how I reacted. And like, I had no roadmap for like how I should react, because it's just like the things that happened aren't something you would ever think would happen, And I don't know, like, I thought I was pretty prepared too, because I read a lot of books, I love biographies and memoirs, and I read a lot of memoirs. So I had other people's good advice from their experiences and stuff, but then my experiences were so wildly different. You know, I would say just do the best you can. I mean that, and I was doing that too. It just doesn't work though. Like you do the best you can, and then you're like, oh my god, why did I do that? Or you're like, why did I react that way? Or you're like, if I did that now, I would do it like this. But the thing is, like, nothing really prepares you for that stuff. You just have to do your best. How long have I been single? I don't know why that's really relevant. It's been a little while, you know, a year coming up, I guess coming up on a year. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, nothing can really prepare you for life the way life does, you know. And I think like we were talking about before, everybody needs something different out of life. I need certain specific things on my growth journey in life that are totally different than whatever you need, you know? And that's okay. And it looks different for everyone. And, you know, you just got to do your best. Oh, you've been single for 3 years. Yeah, to be honest with you, like, I love it. I've never been single my entire adult life. And I've really needed to be. Like, it's not that I don't love. Like, I love having a partner, and I love that so much. But I think it's really not good for me. In a lot of ways. And I think I pour myself too much into the other person. Like I become very, I totally ignore myself, you know? I just do. I neglect myself way too much, and I neglect things that I enjoy doing because those things require me to be alone, and if the other person is around, I want to be around that other person, you know? So it's a very difficult problem, I guess, to have, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think the single life is a very good pursuit, and I don't think people should get into relationships until they're like okay with being single, you know? Because for me, like I really enjoy myself a lot. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy hanging out, playing music. I can talk to myself. I don't have to worry if I'm irritating someone. You know, like I'm a loud person to be around, so it's, you know, sometimes, and I get it. Like it's like I don't want to like disturb other people either, but so I need to be loud. I need to talk. I need to make music. I need to sing. And if I'm around other people, on some level, I'm being stifled in that because I don't, like I said, I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to just be noisy all the time. And I grew up in a large family where I had to be really kind of quiet and like subdued. And even if the other person doesn't want that, I feel like I just naturally, I'm like, ugh, I don't really want to be super loud. But so I don't know, maybe I'm a little stifled, and I think that's a thing with anyone. We get stifled when we're around other people. Of course you can be your freest, most natural self when you're all alone. Like that's the best. You can be naked and do whatever you want. Like you can, and no, I can't do a backflip. Maybe if I was like going into the ocean from like a ship or something. I've never tried. I can do a cartwheel, and I can do a really good what's that? Oh, I can do a SpongeBob impersonation. No, I don't know. No, though I can't do a backflip. I would like to though. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Kind of like a weird question, kind of random, but I don't mind random questions. Yeah, I think being single's great though. Like honestly, I really do. I think not enough people choose to just be single and like be comfortable with themselves before they get into a relationship with someone else. And see, if I would have just moved out of my parents' house when I was 23, I was like 22 when I moved out. If I would have just moved out and lived on my own, I feel like it would have been amazing. Like I would have probably grown a lot more as a person faster. Um, but I did learn lessons. I mean, I learned some lessons I didn't really want to learn, but they were great for me. I mean, I'm glad to know them. I'm like, okay, this is good information. This is good. And now when things happen to me, like even if someone's rude to me, or like if I maybe make a friend and then they do something shady, it doesn't even really upset me anymore. I'm like, okay, this is good information because I'm taking notes. I'm like okay, like because it's just information giving you the tools you need to understand, like, is this the kind of person I want in my life? Like, is this like a healthy relationship? Like, do I need to set boundaries? um I don't know. Anyways, I'm still talking and it's like 3.5 hours in. I don't know how you guys are still here with me, but I am very appreciative. I think though I should let my phone charge. I should give you guys a break from me. I don't want to lose my voice either. I either later in a few hours or tomorrow morning, I think is when I will do a little musical number thing for you guys, if you like. And yeah, again, head over to the Instagram because I do kind of do more stuff on there sometimes. Like at least every other day I try to like post something. Um, hello underscore Zuzu underscore travels. Yeah. I like Instagram. Sometimes I just don't. I mean, I've been sick, so I just didn't feel like doing anything on YouTube. I was like, ugh, I don't want to come on there like coughing. And I mean, you can tell so my voice is still not like back to normal. But anyways, I'm gonna scoot. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and just vibing. I had a good time talking about all this different stuff. I don't really ever get tired of talking, so you might have noticed that. Anyways, yeah, I will see you guys on the next live. Thanks for chilling with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day or night or wherever, whatever it is in your part of the world, and I will see you later. Let's do a backflip. Ugh, just kidding. Bye. Just kidding, it's me again. But for real, bye now. Okay, bye.